10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to pick. Puck! Dire team's turn to pick. Radiant team's turn.
Slaughter!
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Treant Protector.
Dire team's turn to ban. Radiant team's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to ban. Radiant team's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Dire team's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team's turn to pick.
Warlock.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to pick.
Venomancer.
Radiant team's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Radiant
remaining.
team ban. Drow Ranger.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team's turn to pick. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to pick.
Axe.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Choose your hero. Prepare for battle.
Was playing it, and the net worth advantage that it gave them was pretty good. It actually accelerated at a good pace. It kind of looks like he's going the same build. He's starting to regen, so that means that he's going to have a tougher time. But like he said in that interview a couple weeks ago, he likes playing the harder than normal lanes because he knows that it's giving more things to his team, which if they can get a good timing on the levels here for snaking and Draw Ranger has a good lane, then they can absolutely do some good stuff and set some tempo that should put Team Liquid on the back foot.
I think if one person can really, you know, do well with this sort of transitioning Venomancer that goes jungle or whatnot, it's definitely snaking. Although, hold that thought, as 33 has already had a little bit of a skirmish over here with Liquid, but it's going to be absolutely fine.
30 seconds
You know,
to
we've
battle.
seen Snaking play the Enigma, right? He goes straight into jungle, and he does a lot with this particular hero. Granted, this time around, not that giant ultimate in the sense of, you know, like a black hole where he's going to be able to turn the tides of fight, but definitely he's going to be very farmed.
Yeah, he should be able to get good levels and good farm and then use that to control a lot of area with plague wards and things. In fact, he can use them right now. This is kind of one of the nice things about Veno Jungle is that you can buy plague wards level 1 and it doesn't feel like you're completely gimping you. So this should be fine. It will only going to be one there with the Radiant side. A nice fire snap cookie from the Snapfire.
And they're already cutting down some of these wards here as they go through. Koifa making his way down to the bot lane. Are they? They're starting off with something that's looks like a trend. No, they're moving off.
Nope. Yep, just normal lanes for Liquid here. Mickey, tiny safe lane should be doing pretty darn good here. Not that I expect Axe to contest very much, so I think the most interesting battle will be just how fast Snaking farms, and then how much Insania gets done, despite the fact that he's against a solo here. So if he can keep 3-3 pretty zone solo, it's going to keep 3-3 behind where he would like to be, and it could change a lot here.
I mean, this is, as long as they start to do like some sort of stacks as well for the Axe, I think it'll be fine, even if he's being, you know, really challenged here. But it is interesting that Snaking is starting off just straight off the bat in jungle.
Yeah. It should work pretty good. He's about to basically be able to pull 2 camps together. One's a large camp, one is a medium camp, I believe. So he should be able to accelerate pretty quick. Plus, he's got the Bladestone to amplify their damage by 10%, which ends up helping a lot. And Plague Wards deal extra damage against creeps and neutrals, less against heroes. So this is going to be pretty quick. If I hadn't seen Puppy do this once before, I'd be a lot more unsure about it. But it just takes a lot of resources to contest him, and it's just more important basically for Taiga to secure Corpus farm. So basically just gonna let him do this, and because it's just not that worth it. Let like Drow have easy lane and his own Slaughter, for example, a little bit more, just like let him get his farm.
Now, how concerned are we though here with the fact that 33 is getting pushed so far back? And also I want to highlight the fact that Liquid, you know, usually we see Sumail being the one who's kind of, you know, making these moves early, setting the tempo. This time around it is of course Mickey who's going to be making those moves on the Tiny. How do we feel this is?
It should be because of who Tiny is as a hero. He's very good at roaming around and getting kills. Mickey plays a lot of mid, so he's got, you know, he knows how to roam, he knows how to get kills, pressure like that, so it should be fine. The only thing that's going to be negative is that Mickey is going to have less levels because he's in a safe lane instead of a slow lane, so he might not have as many levels of Avatar's quite as early.
33 just going to do some creep wave mechanics there, trying to just pull off the side. Doesn't want to really stay in that lane too much. And then the bottom lane, you know, Skeeter's managing to handle very nicely.
Insane, he did a great job getting one of the camps pulled. In fact, both you can't pull these ones, but he got a range creep to stay in it. It's good. He's doing a good job limiting what Axe is getting out of this. Only 2 last hits right now for 3-3.
It's getting the levels at the very least, right? I feel like that's pretty important. The traditional off lane, it was always just, you know, getting those levels online.
He's basically not aiming to get a fast Vanguard and use that. He's trying to get levels, that way he can catch up and contribute to fights. Or when his team starts death pushing, he doesn't necessarily have to. He can go push a different lane instead.
That's true. So
Tree and Protector did get some buffs recently. Leech Seed mana cost is really low right now. It's only 80, and it got returned to its AoE aspect. So you will heal 2, like everybody on your team, if you're fighting near the Leech Seed part. So that basically puts Tree back to like an amazing lane. This is part of the reason that he's pretty effective.
Is he still going to be as effective as we get further into the late game. I know, definitely having the overgrowth pierces, magic immunity, super valued, but as this game goes further on, is he still got that impact?
So it's a little different. Doesn't get Biz at level 10 talenting. He has to buy a shard to do that. So he can't be as annoying with split just by being 10. He has to spend money or wait to 20 minutes. That part is worse. But mostly Tree and Protector, other than the nice overgrowth aspect, which is absolutely right. Great against DPs or still here.
It's got the cookie hop. They're going to need a little bit more slow than that. So Taiga's going to be absolutely fine.
Surprise!
But other than that, other than that ability to split push and delay line, just being able to armor your trees or your towers to keep them alive, just give you an advantage, and it should help keep his team ready to push. And that can be a thing if you just even pushing circumstances. Because if he gets a couple points in it, he could actually really help keep creep wave alive. Because the heal you pump out later is a huge amount. You do like 300 AoE heal. Like if he goes Holy Locket or something, this could be bumping. It did really fast Fluffy.
Good old Fluffy has spots. Though a little bit out of position here, is getting slowed down though with the bash from Koifa, and that is going to be the first one. They might be able to do this around the Koifa if they can keep that vision, but they don't really have it here. Skeeter walks right next to him. He's already able to teleport out.
So he tried it. I mean, he got the level 2 lead seed, and then they went for a fight, but that minus armor was just way too much.
Top lane 33 is just poking a little bit here with Insania, but it's allowing Mickey so much farm because it is just too hard for this act to really be there in that lane. And another nice thing you noticed earlier coming out from the side of Tundra is they made sure to get themselves the water runes. So we talk about the mid lane being a little bit more forgiving recently. There's a lot of region available, but not when the supports are making those rotations.
That's a tough one for Morph like and empty bottle to do TZ. You have to go back and heal as a result of that. So pretty big rotation. I mean, basically perfect items for like he's got a ring of protection as well and a fluffy hat, but minus armor for a little shred of damage or just caught right through him a little bit too hard. So he was not expecting to die there, and that's gonna hurt their lane a little bit. Could have catapulted them into better than.
Now, is this a situation? I know we had another game where there was a lot of minus armor coming out from one of the particular team. In fact, I had a TA on top of that. Do you just start tanking armor on people too to help, kind of tank them up so that they can survive these engagements? Or
Yep. Yeah, armor is counter to minus armor. So heroes that have high armor, like Morphling or like Drow Ranger, who has a lot of agility, naturally counter minus armor lineups. Usually, like strength heroes are really countered by minus armor. Is one of the better versions, better heroes to have minus armor against because they don't have as much agility. But agility heroes typically just get a lot of armor for free.
But is this a situation too? Oh, there's a nice double damager in here available for 9. Is this also a situation where we'll get to see the Solar Crest and like Medallion, so you can stack on those sorts of things too, going full maximum armor build?
Yeah, and that's why Snap loves that build, because not only can you use it offensively for minus armor with the medallion, or you can just put it on your cores later to push. But with that, I'm not 1,000% sure if Tundra is going to want to go Solar Crest. It's still really good for pushing towers with Drow, but she's naturally long range, so she can siege towers pretty safely just with extra attack. She may not need a Solar Crest to do it quite as quickly here.
I wasn't sure for some of the other heroes though to be able to stack it up.
Yeah, but
Dyer's no fortified their
it's more about
structures.
amplifying your carry. So because Drow
Radiant's top
doesn't
tower
need it as
has
much,
looked
maybe they
better.
won't bother that much. Also, I like the scan here by protecting himself. Snap toss that Nikkei could have grabbed him with. He's going to go the long way back to his
Radiant's top tower is under
so
attack.
far. He doesn't have that many last hits.
Ooh. The cookie hop forward, they silenced Koifa, but it didn't matter because I got the cookie, and now Koifa's just gonna go run down Skeeter. Right under the tower, they just need one more hit. He's gonna take some of this damage, and they have the salve actually, but they'll go right in again. Another hit, and that's a dead Skeeter. Koifa being chased here by Fata. He's gonna get a nice crush shot. Is it gonna be enough though? Can he run away? That slow coming out plus those slide boards giving them vision. They need a little bit more damage. Down Koifa, they don't quite have it. He's up in the corner. He eventually will fall.
Ooh, that's painful for Tundra. When you go Drow lineups, you kind of want to win your lane convincingly, but that's twice now that Quake's gotten kills before dying. So they see it on him everything. Skeeter was getting a lot of heal from it, but Slardar so running down opponents. So even though Drow has some advantages, if she gets on top of her, she's always going to struggle. Cop getting Avatos initially, but he's okay.
Yeah, they get the call off over on 33, and it's interesting that Snaking now making these rotations up to the top lane. Had a little bit of that start in the jungle, and now it feels like they kind of would like to place some pressure over on that tower.
He's doing like a mix of like trying to help, but still jumping occasionally too. He's got a fast turn here, so his mana reach is great and all, but his and this is good or bad, depending on how you look at it. It's the same as Drow Ranger. Drow is definitely struggling here, but Drow's only about 400 behind her, so it's not the end of the world, but the network distribution is looking scary to me. I would like, for Tundra's favor, to see Drow like towards the top, because there just are some matchups against her. Tiny is halfway to his Blink Dagger. He's not pressured. 8. Sania's hits late because he's spent a lot of time running around chasing Axe, but I think everything looks pretty darn good for Liquid right now. The only thing that's a little rough for them is they don't have the best ganking heroes. Outside of like Tiny Blink, or until Starter gets his, it's a little hard for them to get little safe and efficient pickoffs. But have to do the big fights. Mortimer's Kisses and Fatal Bonds Golem, that kind of stuff.
A prize.
I'm a little surprised that they haven't done much scouting over here on the side of Tundra, considering that they do have like a Mentor, right? So you can see, and Sania is known for making all of these stacks. I'm surprised they haven't tried to go for an invasion and try to take control of those, considering they do have an axe.
I think certainly wanted to, but it's not always super easy. Like it feels like every time he crosses the river, every time I look at him, the Warlock's chasing him somewhere. So I'm sure he'd love to take the stacks, but I just don't think it's quite available right now. And it isn't maybe until Mickey gets forced out of his lane that they clear these, I think. Because if Mick stays here, it feels dangerous for anybody to take the lane individual, whether snaking or the axe. So, and now Sumail's just working on
To teleport down to the bottom lane. It's like they're going to try to make something happen. Here's Koifa over in the trees. 9 will scout out with the illusory orb. Koifa getting off that crash. They follow the dream portal though. Silence coming out from 9. Can they do enough damage to attack though? He's here as well as he tosses that up into the air. He will fall as well as Pata. And these long range kisses coming out here over on Skeeter. They could go for a ducker. I don't even know if they need it. They don't. Cut just from downtown.
Oh, they rotated well there. Mickey was super ready. Had this nice observer ward that was spotting in the lens. I think they saw the rotation coming or something, but they reacted so well. Dumping Mickey in there in time. The problem is that Koifa's tanky. He was too difficult to kill. They don't have that much burst damage. Here's the initiation again. They jump in, the Avatos comes in. They use Cookie Jump as well. Instant 6 there, and as a result, he gets to pick off Drow. There's nothing Drow can do other than run. Maybe he could have juked a little bit, but he's close to trees, so it was like kind of, it's kind of difficult there. Now dying in the top lane. Sumail rotates over. Quake gives vision. The Hood is up on Slardar. His goal is just not to die because he knows he's the most vulnerable. And now the game's looking pretty scary for Tundra here.
Yep. Even to the overgrowth, he's trying to buy a little more time, but it doesn't matter. Taiga gets himself another kill, and the Blink Dagger on Tiny, I believe, now is revealed as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very dangerous for Tundra. When you go Drow lineups like this, you're supposed to win your lanes and get ahead and set in place, but I just wonder if the Drow, if it was a better fighter in the lane state and you paired that with Tree, yeah, maybe they wouldn't have lanes, but it just felt a little bit too Slardar.
I mean, I like the concept of what Tundra's doing again, and it was a little bit greedier when you consider that Snake was going to be doing, you know, the jungling. And they do have some solutions, right? They've got this capability of dropping Plague Wards, canceling out Mickey's, his Blink Dagger, and snaking to kind of push them back. But like you said, it's a very tempo lineup, and we haven't seen a lot of successful moves coming out from 9, unfortunately, on this puck either.
Yeah, the one rotation bomb.
Dyer's middle tower
one
isn't
advantage
going
they
to
do
last
have right now
long.
is Venom's excellent at defending towers, especially with both Plague Wards.
Bottom tower's got
It's pretty much just no matter what, and they can just put living armor on the tree as well, or you heal it. Armor. So directly counters Snapfire Will Shredder, and also just keeps it for heal. So their goal is basically, even though they haven't necessarily won the lane stage, they can still buy themselves some time and some map control. They'll eventually kill their opponent's towers, and with that, it might make it easier for them.
Oh, that is a dead snaking. Taiga's on a killing spree.
3-0.
Well, I mean, these are the kind of moves that you like to see. You like to see your tempo hero moving around with +1 or +2, and double damage now over here on Sumail. They're just going to rip down this middle tower. There's not much that they can do over on the Tundra.
I don't know if they're able to defend this. They basically need Venom War set up here to defend.
Where
But,
did
yeah, way
Radiant's
too much
middle tower go?
especially with the DD on Morphling. Yeah, good luck at taking 350 physical damage at this point in the game.
They're just gonna walk right into Roche. They have the capability to do this very quickly. Protection of the armor.
Tower is under attack.
Liquid has just hit this pace. You know, like we said, the Venomancer's nice, but he needs to be set up already. He needs to have those click weakness. Very similar in terms of like attacks and sets, you know? Have that stuff already in place. Otherwise, you know, you can't do nearly as much.
It's one of those kills that is really, really painful. Like that, but you are the tower defender. He left the bot lane probably because it felt to try to defend there, but very easy to take a dive. Blink tiny, but caught in the jungle, the nice shift him in. That DD was perfect timing from the tower. And the Roach, 3K disadvantage for Dra.
That was such a disgusted noise right there. Just, ugh.
Do have a blink on Axe though, no Vanguard, but just Ring of Health, but he's able to set up kills for his team, which is exactly what they need. Yeah.
About to ask
Almost
you,
got the Spirit Vessel too.
do you like the fact that, you know, he just skipped the completely? Because he did have a really rough lane stage, and he does need to be the initiator, follow up along with Nine, or what have you, but I feel a little
Radiant's
scary,
bottom tower
right?
is under attack.
It's the right thing to do, because if you go back for Vanguard, then yes, you're more survivable, but the whole goal of getting Vanguard super fast is that you get it so early that it blocks like all of the damage gets blocked. But now look what he can do. He can actually help in this fight. Vanguard wouldn't do that.
Look at the way Insane is positioned, though. Jump forward immediately from 33. They've got the drop. They've got Fatal. The silence is up. Top back over He just blows him, stinking almost like 33 next to ball. And Nine is just trying to run away. They've got these long-range over kisses, though. They can find him over in the corner. They'll wait a little bit longer. But again, you can run, but you can't hide from these kisses.
It works out again. The Swan, Bracer, Chip Vest, Slardar, and he just tanks through it all the way through with help from Insignia.
Just as much
Doesn't
help
get in
as
chop
Sparta.
range. They just don't have that much burst damage at all on their line. The only hero that is burst basically
Radiant
is
structures are fortified.
That's it. Maybe Axe a little
Radiant's top tower deserves just as much help as
looking
bottom.
very, very rough.
Radiant's top
Sumail gets
tower
Oh, dear.
Killing spree!
That is a dead snake. And again, we talked about this. You know, you do have that living armor coming out from this Treant Protector, but you also need the Plague Wards to be set up, and if you're dead. You don't have a Plague Ward set up. Just gotta be careful here. They could just get jumped immediately if they're not careful.
Yeah. It's like the dam has broken me, though. It feels really difficult to come back from this. Yes, they're defending the safe lane, slowing it
Somebody
down
better help Dire's
with living
middle tower.
armor and with Nature's Grasp. He's been putting
Not
more
much good's happening to Radiant's
to see if
bottom
he's
tower.
able to dive. So the tier 1 alive, but
Dire's
losing
structures
mid,
are
and now the
fortified.
top tower just means that Roche control is negated. Mostly Tundra, at least it's a lot harder. It'll be
Radiant
very easy for
structures
Liquid
have
to
been
always
so
retain
fortified.
Roche, get the shard, keep getting advantage there.
I mean, I would say that Tundra never had control of the Roche area after a certain point. Yeah, bot tower goes
Radiant's
down.
bottom tower has
You're trying to get into
fallen.
position, but
He did this by himself, which is even more a sign of how the game looks rough. Sumail taking for another DD rune. Very nice for him.
I mean, you saw him earlier. He was in the bottom lane. He chased Fada around for a good, like, 15 seconds, and he was just like, I don't need this, and just focused down on the wave. He's got his priority here. All about the towers.
I wonder if Snake should have
Radiant's
jumped
middle tower could
hard
use
and
some
not tried
help.
to roam. I feel like he went bottom to try to help stabilize because they lost that first kill, but he only had like one consistent light wards, which was difficult. Treant Protector may be in trouble here.
Repeating on
Yeah,
Dire's top
use the
tower.
overgrowth just to slow down Koifa, but it'd be a walkway. But that's, you don't have overgrowth though. I guess you don't want to really fight just yet. Either on the side of Tundra, you're still having some difficulties, but feels like a big ulti drop there just to disengage.
It is, but at least he gets his armor on. Fingers crossed. 3-3 in a position to initiation here, but well, does he know he's going to find Insignia?
Right past the stadium, blinks away though. I don't think he's going to be able to find him in time now. He's
With a fish pipe, no blink on him. He knows what his role is. He's close to the dangerous parts of the map, gets backed up by his allies, and then his opponents will try to kill him, but with pipe, he resists the large majority of the damage. Because unless Drow is there, and even if Drow is there, the damage is just not
tower
on
is
the Tundra
under
side. They
attack.
really are supposed to like win the safe lane, kill Slardar, Drow's to take control of the lane. Slardar's behind, and then it gives them a lot more space to like defend towers and kills.
necessary because, oh, look at this. Immediately spotted out. They don't quite land the ammo. Oh, but Sumail just going right on in, finds Sata Taiga waiting nearby, Cookie up forward, and the little shredder will clean up the tree.
When you start,
That's a
Radiant's
that wouldn't happen in the last two. He would have been a visit great level. But until the 20-minute mark, he's not able to pick this shit up. Now this pressure is just so much easier. Oh my god.
Radiant's
This
bottom
tower is just dead.
under
That's
attack.
going to give them outpost
Dire's top
control
tower is under attack.
instantly at the 8. So much more experience.
Radiant's bottom tower is no more. Were those
The Aegis
cracks
does
in
end up
Dire's
getting
top
reclaimed,
tower?
so they
Dire's
won't have to
top
worry about
tower
that. But
is
again, it's just so
Just a
great. Like, they have so much control all over this map right now, coming out from the side of Liquid, and Tundra's just slowly getting choked out more and more. Where's the movement setting up these
Tower shouldn't
wards?
have to take this abuse.
Just they did the top tier one, which is something to do at this point for free.
Oh, Skeeter!
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
Sorry comes out, and
Beating
that's
on
a dead
Dire's
drow.
top tower.
Oh, the push continues. Another
Radiant's
two
middle tower
more
is
map
under attack.
control.
Dire's
They had a
top
ward over here.
tower is under attack.
33? I think they did. Yeah. Quite hunting. He knows he's there somewhere. Blinking. Okay, 33 should be able to survive that.
Still no blink on Slardar just yet. Almost got it though. He's only like a pipe at exit deal.
No big deal. Oh god.
Yeah, this is utter map control. And the other downside is that because
tower is
Fodder
under
can stand in the
attack.
trees, he's like the only person who can push lanes. So his net worth is doing okay, but
33 walking into 30 heroes. They have to, again, we talk about the vision game being so important there, and you can see all of these nice little points wherever Tundra would like to venture out and perhaps get into the jungle. They have the vision, so they just get to jump on them each time. And like I said, they can walk through trees, but and also die very, very easily too.
yeah, that one felt to me like he was expecting me to lane ward, like there was in the top lane, so maybe he felt safer walking.
They caught
through the jungle
that.
to get to that area. Yeah, but,
They caught the
spotted
smoke.
him. That smoke. Well, they playing different.
Another double damager. Oh, word.
Okay, they're going to back up briefly here to sit in a more defensive position because they know that their opponents are in desperation territory here.
They've got, this is the third DD Sumail's going to be picking up for this match. Like, they could just go wherever they want. So if anyone,
Behold!
this might be a little difficult, is, you know, try to get their hands on 9 because it is a puck, but
What, 8 runes total at spawn and 3 have been DD?
and they've got the Sumail.
It's like 6 different runes that can spawn and 3 have been DD. Pretty, Morphling, yeah, that's pretty dirty. But realistically, they probably would still be in this position without the DD.
Okay, they're gonna get a call off. 9 waiting nearby here. Does go for the dream call. They have to be careful though. The rest of them, they drop the chaotic offering. There's gonna be those long range misses coming into effect, and they finish off. Smith's not looking to 33 over off to the back line. He's trying to escape, trying to get the cover. He's not gonna be able to. He's first for the fall. And now the hunt is on. Koi Cookie hop forward, would love to get hands on Snake King. Isn't gonna be able to quite make that jump just yet, but the avalanche from Mickey just blowing up Snake King. They take both of those Tundra boys down very quickly, and they're going right on the jump in again from Koifa. He's found himself a Drow Ranger. There's gonna be 2 buybacks that they punched. They've gone a little bit far here. 9 silent up over here on the Koifa. They'll find the kill over on Slaughter. Cookie hopping out here from Taiga. They're still hunting. 33 would love to get over their fat. That's the mail, but they turn right back over. 30 just gets blown up. He's got nothing here. Silence again over onto Smell. They'll try to slip him down, making his legs over onto the back lines and cross forward over to Skeeter to go and blow up Smith. Snaking also fallen.
Dire's top tower is under
And they called GG.
Well, at least, yeah, I probably left theirs. That's what a absolute by Liquid. Keep in mind that what Tundra tried to do here was an effective, potentially good strat. It's a little bit cheesy in the sense that it's like super up tempo, so you're like trying to like hit a timing, but because their lane stage did not go well, it just went a little bad, and that's all it takes.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team's turn to ban. Radiant team's turn to pick. Dire team's turn to pick.
Lina.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Game 2, Tundra versus Liquid. Upper division of the European DPC League. You're watching DreamLeague Season 15, powered by Intel. We got a great day of Dota here. Of course, we're in the middle of this best of 3 between Tundra and Team Liquid, which, by the way, this series super important for both the teams, and the series after this also very important for both the teams. OG versus Secret, by the way. I'm going for the wrong side so that people couldn't hear me, and then it wouldn't be... Whatever, we have the draft. Here with T and Kyle. We're well on the way in the draft.
Jeez. That is a very ambitious opener. We've talked a lot about Puck. It's untouched in China, a region most look at as the strongest out. And the fact that Tundra continue to open with it has to be a fodder hero in this context. Liquid, they get the go-to Lina pick
5
and a
seconds
morph.
remaining.
If you show that Puck is mid, Sumail will play morph mid, and he will once again dominate the map.
Yeah.
But this is something where the format of DPC allows teams to have development. Right? Like we saw previous weeks, it was the Leshrac, it was the winner. They relied heavily on a small hero pool, and now they've had a weak break or whatever. And now we're seeing a whole new Liquid where it's like, oh, we can't just go for this mid-sumo morphling. Here's our win condition now. It used to be the win condition on semi-core heroes. Let's upgrade him one more time and get everyone going a bit more fight-oriented. So yeah,
The thing is, you could be right,
ban.
but it could also be as simple as they love Puck. Tundra have picked it all season long.
Yeah.
Last season as well. It's almost always 9-0.
Pick a casual morphling, play
Yeah.
the yeah, that's true.
When
Sure.
you say almost always, this season alone, it
Radiant
has
team's turn to ban.
always
Team ban.
been for 9. It never was not for 9.
And that's why it's such an odd, how many other teams do we see first twoing their mid hero?
I think that the main thing here is the fact that in Europe it's such a hot commodity, but in other regions, for example, like China, the team that won the major, they're barely looking at it. It's
Yeah,
like even in the
it's
pool.
not
So
good.
it's a European thing. That's the main thing we're getting at here.
Yeah, because we see quite
5
a
seconds
few
remaining.
teams at the moment picking their mid first. But
Yeah. So for example, like we've had in many interviews now, the idea of mid being that easier lane to play. You draft it. It's like the Storm Spirits, the Pucks.
Yeah.
You can
and
just
not
pick-
after you've just been destroyed on Puck.
Well, again, like I think the essence of that game, and this is where Tundra's they're gonna have to really demonstrate their ability to bounce
Yeah.
back, like they've done before.
Yeah, they
is
have done,
You
yeah.
can't change everything. You need to change certain elements of the draft to ensure that you have at least the
Yeah.
same type of game
Yeah.
plan.
That'd be considered. For all it could also just be
Dire team's turn to ban.
9 being stubborn. Like he's
Maybe.
a great Puck.
Some players are
plays
like
it a
that,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just like, oh well, they're not going to ban it. I'll pick it again. Like that was a fluke. We jungled. That was the problem. It had nothing to do with the mid matchup. We'll see. Trouble is, Clock doesn't really do it to him either, and in general is just not
10
considered
seconds
strong enough
remaining.
for two. It's great against Lina in theory,
Dire team's turn to
but you're
pick.
counted a force staff.
So they've played it once, and it was a snaking clock
Yeah.
that time.
Yeah, I think the main thing with why Clock is a little bit offbeat is just because the heroes that are good right now, the Svens, the Lifestealers, the PLs, all these heroes don't care about Clockwork at all. So first phasing does open up the draft a little bit more in regard to having a good sort of counter pick. But either
10
way,
seconds
Tundra,
remaining.
they kind of solidify their draft with this, again, flexible Tide Hunter. Clock
5
can now be
seconds
4 or
remaining.
5. Tide can now, they've run it 4 before or off lane.
Yeah.
And at least they have team fight. My fear is simply they don't have clean lockdown. Morphling that's been first phased. That's the key thing here.
What?
Sorry, just if anyone's watching, don't sit in the chair like Blitz.
No.
Don't do that.
Oh, that was so smart. They went from one camera, came back. Go back, Blitz! Go back! Wait, Luke! Woo! Oh, that's amazing camera work production.
It actually is great camera, but yeah, don't use it.
Oh, he's going back. Are we going back? Of course. Oh, no, not. Ah, made it.
That seems something. No.
I like that Tundra removed the flesh. They have a
It
big
says
trouble.
dab on their whiteboard.
Okay, what?
Dab.
There's dab. They dab.
DAB.
Excellent.
It also says TF. Tempo.
No, it's they don't know what 4 or 3. You know, they're just
Okay,
mixing
but
up
they
the
don't.
roles.
It's tempo, so they want to play fast.
Cool.
Yeah.
Inside the brain of Liquid.
What does he say here? Coach, player, AWP, rifle.
What, are we playing
Excuse
I
me.
Spy? What's
Yeah,
going on?
Yeah.
my little eye. I saw something with.
This is what true competition is about. You don't just read what your players are doing in game. You also try to figure out what they're talking about.
Ooh, okay.
Did not think Winter
nice.
Wyvern was something that they were talking about.
I don't mind it just for the fact that you now, if this clockwork is your 4 position, you have a 5 that can disconnect himself from the type of damage that clockwork brings to a lane.
Yeah. It's also
10
not
seconds
removed
remaining.
by Kraken Shell, so theoretically later in the game you can target a Tide with
5
it or
seconds
use
remaining.
it to combo break after a Ravage.
Mhm.
The ult it is.
I guess, yeah, a key thing as well is just the idea of they wanted to have one aspect of heal with the Morphling. We saw how dominant that Morphling Warlock is within the game, and now they have playing same concept. This Cold Embrace when he's low gives him so much HP. The effectiveness of heal is
See-
amplified on this.
Clever. They turned their board around so that we can't read it.
But Sheaves,
Not-
it's the oldest trick in the book. You only show your enemies what you want them to see.
Yeah. Remember
How do we
Thunder
know?
Predator, the tweet, which was like, we
Yeah.
play, what hero was it again? Was it the IO or something?
Yeah, something like
We're
that.
practicing lots of IO. Ha, shame. Just was a tweet, mate. They ban it, they lose the
No,
series.
they actually, that
the other way
was
around.
obvious. They just included a screenshot
Yeah.
of them practicing,
teams turned
and it had their carry
really
player playing.
See, there
with.
we go.
So what you thought, oh, I'm clever, I'm going to find out what they're doing, but it was actually, boy, shout out to him, that did, but immediate Void Spirit from Liquid.
SD at least is a very good counter to Morphling. When Morphling does poke up to high ground, you disrupt him, you get your own double illusion, you can quickly burst
10
him,
seconds
or at least
remaining.
put him lower with the Soul Catcher, but I'm just
5
the lack of
seconds
lockdown right
remaining.
now, and
Yeah.
early presence in the game.
Damage.
Yeah, exactly. Tundra, they've got kind of cute answers to their heroes, but like 25 minutes plus. You know, these big mid-game fights, the utilization of the big spells. But early on, their entry to the game, what they lacked in the first one, it's non-existent. This reminds me, honestly, of the series beforehand.
And the other issue with SD is whenever I'm playing against a hero that has your disruption is a setup stun for Lina, if not controlled.
Fire team ban.
And I'm just concerned that Tundra is they need a dominant laning phase.
Radiant
Otherwise, their
team's
draft
turned
won't
to
have
ban.
damage. They have last pick, of course, but
So,
is that a Medusa ban?
That's Mars band. He does sound like Medusa.
so are we saying then so in regards to Tundra, the way they're playing this game is Tide Hunter offlane with SD4, utilizing the
Fire team
Shadow
ban.
Poison to make stacks, Fat Tide, a Clockwork 5 to enable some hard carrying. And then
Radiant
for
team's
Liquid,
turn to
they're
pick.
most likely playing Morphling and Wyvern in the same lane, Void Spirit mid, a hero that cannot get ganked by the Clockwork, and then you have Liquid being enabled by some big melee offlane that Koif was yet to pick.
Centaur is still in the pool. Not a fantastic hero in the game. Would make the
Dire
clock very
team's turn
happy
to
if he's
pick.
playing against Lina
And the
Centaur.
puck. And then so
Yeah.
let's go for Slaughter.
So this is in truth a terrible Slaughter game. But we were talking about in the green room during that last game. It's never Slaughter will always do what Slaughter can do in a draft.
Roshan.
Gives you Roche minus armor, very tanky. Not great
10
against
seconds
ST,
remaining.
Tide, or Clock. Like, it's actually a really rough game for you. But Morph
5
Slaughter,
seconds
we saw in the
remaining.
last game, activates Roche at 15 minutes. And in addition, ensures that Morph will be king. Now, Tundra, you need a carry. And I don't know what it is. You're laning with the Clock.
Maybe it's like
It has to be like a Medusa.
I think they need a big win condition like some Spectre, something that just rinses through the backlines.
But you're going to get
I know you're gonna get
bodied
right.
in
I know
lane.
exactly. That's the issue right now because of the first 4 heroes with the lack of damage. Whatever you pick here, whatever win condition,
Choose your hero.
it's gonna feel awkward. And they
They
picked
just
Terra.
put Terrorblade into a Morphling and a Wyvern.
Yeah, so they picked Terrorblade into one of the better counters in regards to the matchup. At least it's a high armor hero for the Slaughter. But yeah, my big fear for Tundra is once again
But how
their
do you-
win condition isn't the best win condition.
That is the first Terrorblade in the
Upper
upper
yeah.
division, by the way.
Yeah.
You-
I'm a little bit concerned from Tundra. They just lack early damage to kind of cushion the Terrorblades need to farm, and that should allow Liquid to apply pressure. But at least this time, Terrorblade isn't going to be the one feeding in the Slardar lane. But if Lina has a really good lane and applies that pressure by dodging kind of Fada's presence, then I can see TB having pressure.
You just hit him. Like, you might be able to land a kill with a meta, but it's going to be on one hero at most. With meta down, you're going to be in danger. And for me, it's not the top lane. It's about
5 seconds remaining.
how are you going to make moves as Tundra? You have so many huge cooldowns. Without meta, without Ravage, you're not taking a team fight. And Liquid, they need one kill, and they can capitalize. It's just...
TB
Nine has to do much better. Just
has to have a good time, but TB also needs to get to a point where he has a quick enough Scardy butterfly timing where he can actually be the frontline damage dealer. But that alone, that's so much farm. Yeah.
Last game, we said that the draft was great from Tundra, but it needed a high execution. How is their level of execution needed for this game round? Even if you guys don't seem to like the draft all that much, is it at least easier to execute?
Shouldn't get ahead of ourselves. They need to just not get crushed in lanes.
Okay.
That's step one.
Step one.
They need item advantage on TB to offset how good Morphling is into TB. If you have some Scardy advantage and you get the right initiation, I can see them having nice pacing, but it's stop the Roshan going to Liquid, don't get bodied in all lanes, and have a jungle to farm so that TB can use the SD stack teaming.
They want to do the same thing they did last game. Abuse wave pressure, get this insurmountable advantage. Terrorblade suddenly is 7k ahead of the game, and now you can't fight because there's a tide waiting there to ravage.
Exactly, yeah.
But can you get there?
You've got to get through the lanes.
Well, let's see if they can repeat some results they had so far. Game 2 generally is a success for Tundra. Can they do that again? We're finding out together with Mock.
Well, we're seeing some things show up again here, such as the Sumail Morphling, but this time we're seeing a hero that has not been picked in the upper division yet. We have the Terrorblade, and I believe he did have a couple buffs applied to him, Purge.
He did. I just looked at them up. Okay, the first one that's probably most significant. His base armor got increased by 2. That is a huge amount of physical resistance, and against a Slardar who does all physical damage, this is going to be good. Like, him getting pressured and killed by Slar is going to be way more difficult. I see it's also got 4 more beast damage, 1 more regen at the start of the game, and Metamorphosis is a little bit weak. So he's basically going to be stronger outside of meta than he was before, and within meta, he's still pretty much the same. So definitely laning stage is going to be stronger for him, but there's probably a reason that nobody else is picking.
Well, I mean, they definitely had difficulties with the laning stage earlier, so perhaps that was the idea. And also, we know that Skeeter does like to play the Terrorblade. We've seen him do it quite a bit in the past. But I feel this time I want to see stats coming out from the side of Tundra. I want to make sure that 30 is enabled this time around, because last time it felt like he was really hung out to dry.
He was for sure. I mean, that's the nature of the jungle of NO, but it would have been better if they won their lanes, their safe lane a little harder, because then he participated in some kills and caught up with his team when he see how many bounties they get. It's gonna be hard for Fada to approach this. Maybe 1 to 2 is what it's looking like.
This ain't no snowball fight.
They should be able to grab up too. So nice, even spot to start everything off. And elbows it off to the lane.
We got both orbs. Dude, Liquid is just reading their mind. They killed the first one at the top rune spot where Fada placed it. I think they just placed it blind or something, and they just found it in this one as well. They must have seen them place it with the observer ward or something, or just guessed.
I mean, I would not be surprised if there was an element of luck involved, just because of the fact Male did get 3 double damage in that last game.
Isn't there luck for the last couple of games of the dodge by Fada here. It's battery assault, it's the stun. It's gonna get a lot more damage as a result.
I mean, I guess on the plus side over here with the side of you do have some kind of tankier heroes that can face up against the Slardar. The Lina, of course, is just really, really annoying. It's very difficult to deal with her as that war position. Constantly, you know, tossing out those right clicks, but not quite as papery as last.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a little bit harder for them to kill the TB, at least outside of meta for sure. Yeah, doing a good job so far. That's the second line strike rate.
Fada's going to be
vulnerable.
I was about to say, Fada's going to be the little guy taking all the hits for his friend over here.
And he doesn't have good armor. Clockwork is sitting at 2.8, so much less than the 9.7 that Terrorblades will do right now.
You have to think about, right? You figure that little robot would have enough armor, but not in this case. It's a silly game.
Literally wearing a suit of armor. I think it's 100% wearing armor. Or
really? a little person? Somebody call up Slacks. We gotta know. We gotta know. I thought he was a little android.
Yes. You're on.
Purge, you're just leading me astray here.
Shouldn't bring the lore facts though, knowing my lore, I guess.
Never gonna forgive you. Bottom lane, though, does feel like 33 having a much more comfortable time having that Shadow Demon also there to pass some of that harass off. So 33 looking all right here, but LSA is coming through with Spot just making a big old target every time he tries to use those cogs and burns off with his mana.
Not for you.
It's a good goal. Taking away Southern Crush basically
Not
takes
much
away
good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
where he can do things like run right before Skeeter goes for a last hit. Things like that. Yep, doing it again. And there we go. Slar completely out of mana here. Go only has a Satyrs mask, so he can't feed any way to get his mana back. So kind of a nice method here. That's going to definitely make the lane feel a lot better.
Uh-oh. Bottom lane, Snake King, he's gonna fall to insane. Yeah.
First blood comes with the first breath.
So
Axis
it's
and
not,
rest.
it's not a
Oh.
It is part of King Folk. Yeah, I was right.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Okay, so this is not terrible for Tundra's cores. Both Skeeter on the Terrorblade and 3-3 on the Tide are not the vulnerabilities in the lanes. It's going to come down to the supports that are the ones to kill. So if Liquid keeps targeting these and get some lane advantage out of that, good for them, basically.
I'd like to see if Tundra is actually going to try to make these rotations and try to secure the runes again, because they did it last time, and it helped out. I mean, I was going to say it helped out 9 a little bit here, because, you know, he was able to get the top rune, and the bottom one was denied from Sumo, but didn't seem like he cared at all, though.
Sumel's
This is nice,
doing better.
though. Those
He's got
stacks.
like a 15. Got a 15 damage. Oh, he cleared those. That's
Yeah.
cool. Sumel's got a 15 damage advantage. Or mid, he's got 6 denies versus Puck 0 actually. So Sumel once again doing well in the mid lane. But yeah, Puck's a little bit more mobile, so it should be easier for him to get runes in.
It doesn't look like we're seeing anybody really make those rotations over here to help secure the runes. Bottom lane, though, burn over here on 33. He's a tanky boy, though, so not going to be able to quite burst him down. Just going to try to harass for the time being. And now you do see that movement. All right, Thing is going to go to the bottom spot. He's already got 9 here. So Sumail will be able to take the top water rune.
He's fine. They're basically hitting him with a lot of nuke damage, which is hurting him. But he's got 2 points in Kraken, 2 points in Anchor. He didn't get Gush. He's not trying to get kills here. Like, maybe they could kill Winter Wyvern, but it's kind of difficult, and Void Spirit's a hard kill for sure. So he's just focusing on getting as tanky as possible with the fast ring of health. He'll get a fast hood. That'll stop most of the magic damage from affecting him. And frankly, Tidehunter's not bad against Slardar either, because Slardar's minus armor from Corrosive Haze, yeah, they're going to do more damage, but as soon as he takes like 450 damage, Kraken Shops and Slardar ult to get him. So Tide is pretty good against this matchup. The only hero that I'm really worried about is probably like Morphling E-Blade combo, because then it doesn't really matter as much of Kraken procs. There's just a lot of magic damage. Even if like the E-Blade aspect gets dispelled, it's like you're still taking so much raw damage.
The battle
and Tide can struggle with it. But it should help against that. With 3-3 have in a better game here, and with them being a potential Shadow Demon to save people, I think there's definitely a better counter match.
You wouldn't be surprised to see him doing some more for himself and getting some of that over here. You can already the line has Bethania not to share any of this here. Snake King will pop the Arctic Burn, which again it's actually quite nice against Tidehunter too, right? The fact that each base.
Yeah, it has pretty high health, but not like insanely high. If he takes too much damage, it does actually dispel it as well. So it kind of works. Tide he's looking really good in this game. He's got 3 points of Kraken as well. He legitimately wants to be able to solo lane against Void Spirit. This could actually be pretty bad for Void. So with Tide finishing at this point, if he just picks up like a phase boots or something, Ruth's going to contest this thing. And that's something the league wants to.
Putting a little bit more pressure here on Taiga in the top lane. Oh, let the LSA though. Perhaps he outplayed himself. They have the stuns. Can they finish off Fata? That was a question. Hit here. And down goes Fata. Snake King also teleporting up to the top area.
Skeeter really couldn't. He didn't really try to push, but it's time for him with a huge armor. With some Lina, don't hurt that bad, right? With some Slug are not that worrisome in comparison. You might have some regens and issues. There's a 1k gold advantage going on Liquid side, and yeah, the Morphling is scary. Things are looking pretty good for Tundra. And now 3-3 is just bully Mickey. Every time Mickey runs forward, he just slaps him. This is not a place to be in. Like if you do go for this like macro Kraken choke, then 1 against an AM, it felt pretty good.
Do you see how deep of a ward Insania placed over in the triangle area?
Oh yeah, that's pretty deep.
That's he spotted out the stacks too. Like he's got a lot of information over here. There's like a stack to the side, but disruption, snaking, grabbing up Arcane. Can they make a play here? Is the question. The silence, some mills already starting to morph it. So no burst, or not burst damage, I suppose I should say, to really enable him here. Snaking, he's trying to get very the deny off. Samil's got to be pretty miffed about that.
Okay, he'll just morph and hold himself back.
It's a water boy, water no purge.
True. Well, that was on here.
Yeah, I meant the bottle. I meant the bottle. It's, you know, a liquid, and it's also a liquid, so. You're going too literal on me, Purge, please. Over here, again, the cogs come out over here on Taiga. Snaking's there. Sister doesn't even, I guess he'll turn around. He's like, I could go for a hit here, but he's a little bit late. I'm not sure. Do they have enough? Yes, they do. They have enough stacks left. Shadow Poison to take down Taiga.
That was a little scary. That was only level 1 Shadow Poison. Shadow Demon was only level 2 there, so it was close to him surviving, but he still lost the lane. Worth advantage is decent right now. 500 net worth behind. Maybe not the best, but 3-3's survivability is just, he's invulnerable now. He actually can't die in this lane, and that's why Shadow Demon is now roaming. And we'll get stuff done. 3-3 level 7 now 2. I don't even know why they're trying. He's like legitimately well, unless somebody rotates, I suppose.
Yeah, but you have a feeling that Smel's probably going to skip here unless he gets a specific like rune of opportunity, or it actually gets brought to him. But yeah,
if 3-3 gets killable, yeah, they can maybe do something about it. Mickey used an Astral Step earlier to do some damage on 3-3, but it was like, what's the point? I think he's just figuring out now that Kraken Shell is maxed out. That's not something that's super obvious right away. You got to hit a couple, check some numbers, and be like, okay, this guy's legitimately impossible to kill. So even though he's not going to farm necessarily as fast, just sitting in lanes already gets a lot for his so.
And it's interesting how oh, there it is. There's that double damage rune for Tundra this time around. But yeah, you know, you saw the fact that Snake, he made this rotation fairly early once he realized that 33 totally fine here soloing this lane, not going to be pressured out. And now we get a smoke coming out from the side of Tundra, so perhaps like expecting Insania. Oh, will be the one who breaks the smoke. Coming out, it's gonna just go over here to the high ground. Got a bit of vision. They have great heroes actually for that. Insania now is just gonna try to draw away their attention. He's gonna tank the gank here for though he does have the capability of staying alive a little bit longer. This is a lot of time that they're actually just spending trying to take down Insania. Eventually they get him, but that is not the target that they wanted on the side of Tundra.
Yeah, they definitely wanted. I mean, they still could die if they didn't use. Well, that's the crucial thing here. He's going to TP you. It was super a little lucky that Insania found him. He seemed surprised when he moved in there. Looked like he just wanted to put a ward down. So it's Fada. He's level 5. He's got a tango though, so he can actually get out of here.
Teleports are coming in though en masse here. Battery assault slows him down just a little bit. Make with a step forward over in the back line. 9 finds himself a kill on Taiga. We'll get the kill on Fata, but he's bought some time here for those supports to make the rotation and 9. Can they do anything more, I guess, is the question. Especially with Mickey. Oh, and Insania, they're all making these moves to farm up and enjoy the space.
Because has some burst issues here, but with double damage. It was pretty simple from the
to Radiant's bottom tower.
Just the corrosive haze that would have come out because of bottle refill. Maybe they'll fight.
Looking for the splinter blast. I'm just immediately ducking away.
Fox just pushed back. Stone that would have gotten Puck really low, maybe dead. Now they can defend. What's happening to me? 3 taking his own by himself. He doesn't care.
Well, they can't.
It's going to touch him.
Yeah, they can't do anything against him right now. Everybody's here playing the top lane over on the side of Liquid. So 33 is just, you know, a stark difference from game number 1.
It helps when you get a little bit of help at the start of the lane stage to that fast level 2 crackles. He's queuing up Blink Dagger afterwards. He's got phase boots. He's about a third to the way to Blink Dagger, but now he's going to go mid and push Sumo pressures a little bit. This is the next tower that Tundra doesn't want to lose. He's basically doing the typical off-lane thing. Get tanky and go in the lane. And, you want pressure or that you want to stop some pressure?
I mean, this is the tower that you really need to protect. Obviously, you know, you're going to have the TV. He's going to be going and angling during this time. But the middle tower, especially when you're going up against a slaughter lineup, is so incredibly valuable. You want to make sure you can get there fast if you have any sort of inkling that they're going for that early Roche.
Yep, exactly. You need that close teleport point, but 3-3 just tank the tower. All that's hitting him is 154 the damage, and the to match up against his armor and his regen is still really high. So it's in a good spot.
He's taking a decent amount of damage, though.
Yes.
It's slow, but he is taking damage in the bottom lane quite far. And this hunting does end up getting stunned, though. They get the silence. They're just going to dodge a throw that disruption over to Koifa. And Quail's to get used as well. It's going to keep clinking away. Ooh, Nine, you might be in trouble here. It doesn't extend that coil, though. Back around, focus attention over here to Snake. Snaking may end up being the one who's down here, but they have the luxury. Can they get over the fact that yet they can? They take down Koifa.
Strange time to hibernate.
But a huge kill. So he can get 6 out of that one. If they don't have Shadow Poison, they just have enough to kill the Stalker there. But he fought the but wasn't quite enough for him. So just get stuff on the map. Unlike last game, these pop rotations with help from higher damage supports making things work.
Ooh, Insania. It looks like the terribly doesn't want to go after this. Does have that illusion nearby.
Terrablade's lifestyle is like he doesn't want to do anything for like 15 to 20 minutes if he can, because his do anything. If the fight comes to him and he can use meta, he's like, okay, sure, I'll do some damage and get some like move at all. It's gonna have a bad time. It's just better for him to hit until he hits his item time.
Sounds like a teenage boy. Mom, I don't want to do this right now. Give me 15, 20 minutes.
It's 25, 30. The game went really long. It's sorry. It's not my fault.
Well, you hope that he's actually not going to go up and do things. But we do have some other stacks being... But that is the beauty, of course, of having Shadow Demon. He's able to help take stacks a little far from help team. And now we've got the gang squad coming out from the side of Tundra. They're hoping that they can grab someone. He flips down some vision too. But who is their luckiest? Be Koifa again. They have hook shot. Perhaps a little bit uncoordinated here, but Lucifer comes in. Jump forward here from them, waiting. He'll follow up with a Dream Coil, and that's a good Winter's Curse coming out as they go right back against the mail, looking to just blow up someone if they can. Clockwork is not looking too healthy. He's to try to run over. He's got his paws up. Looks like he's gonna survive. Oh no, he's not. He goes down as Nine cleaned up by Mickey, making his own rotation. So big rotation coming out from Liquid to ensure that they can shore up their jungle. But in the middle lane,
move. Hit over Skeeter at the same time. Freeze it. Get power pressure.
They get the tower. We need to be careful here. He's got Ravage if they want to try to commit on this, but it looks like they're happy with this. They're satisfied. How much time do they have on meta left?
Just 10 seconds.
Yeah, so that's probably why they didn't want to go on that, right?
I mean, they maybe could have ravaged, but they needed their opponents to go aggressive and make a mistake and overcommit. That's stupid good. But that was a really good move by Tundra. At the same time that they smoked 3 heroes, go get a kill, they rotate the TB mid with the Tide and take a tower. So they had 2 to accomplish. So even though the fight didn't go good, tactically it's still good for them. And the heroes that died, yeah, 9 died, that wasn't so great. But the other 2 were supports. It really wasn't bad the slightest for Tundra because they just got more map control. So they can continue pressure. Shadow Demon's got level 7. His damage is high. They still have Ravage. They've got Link on Tide. So now all of their rotations and games can be a little bit more effective from here on out. It's good for Tundra. They can definitely win this game.
The classic bait and switch, you know, the slot of hand, like you're paying attention down here, but we are getting in other lanes. You love to see it.
And they smoke again.
I mean, they've got the Blink Dagger. You've got plenty of mobility here. You even have the Invis rune over here on this puck if you want to get real cheeky. Yeah, 33, the jump forward. It's Insania that they will find, so it's going to get sandwiched by 4 heroes, and it's a quick pick-off, of course. I think if you're Liquid, you're perfectly happy with that, though.
They're doing such a job reading their opponents. They know what timings are hit, and they set the heroes quick to the right, and it's the left, like, come on, break the smoke. It comes up here now, which is cool. Pushes the line out a little bit, gets a little far, draws them towards the creep wave from towers, so even though they have a kill advantage, by the time they get here, it's like, well, Insania's back up again, so keep buying more time to eventually make Morphling feel like a superhero.
I mean, Sumail has not been bothered. I don't think Sumail shown up. Yeah, he hasn't really shown up for any of these fights, really. He hasn't needed to. Just had all the breathing space in the world. He's got a mount online now. They've just been hunting Koifa, and Insania has been burning every single one of their smoke ganks.
Same build he won last time, passing into style to they got buffed range heroes, so kind of makes sense. They don't die as fast as Manta. Illusions on Morphling are some of the best because he has just an insane abundance of agility It gives base damage, illusion
Radiant's
damage
bottom
based on their
tower is
base,
under attack.
with sometimes some passive mixed. And now Liquid making a move. Getting aggressive here.
They did just pick up the dagger on the Fata, though. Good positioning here. He's going to be the sacrifice. They use the everything here to get rid of this little clockwork. Re-engage, though. Feels like Skeeter doesn't want to give up these creeps.
Is a free stack of large creeps. It's a little scary.
It is.
More important. 3-3 goes to do that.
Does have that blink.
Behind. Fought like 7 seconds anyway, so they can absolutely still regain territory here.
They've been using the illusion to get some sort of vision as well, so Tundra not in the tightest of, even though Liquid is very much on the offensive here. It's quite a challenge. Is pretty separated though from the rest of his team. Just have to be careful about that. As Mickey is nearby the ward. They've got this vision.
So spot. It's the war. They regain their jungle. S5. Skeeter gets to resume farming. A pretty solid net worth. About the same as the Morphling right now. Still looking okay.
So did Smell.
There's no big deal.
Smell continues to. He immediately recognizes, okay, this is not happening. We're not having sight. So you know what? I'm back to my triangle. And you even see on the minimap, you see that heat, the way that he's just stayed in the middle lane and then he's gone to farm. He realizes what his job is in this game.
So the very similar patterns is what you see in the type heroes as well. You aim mid, you do well, and then you get other stuff.
Hook shot. You can see Insane waiting occasionally. Does get off the save. Even though just gone in, Skeeter's joining in as well. With the deflection, Mickey with the after step does manage to clean up Snaking, but he will fall himself as quite looking to reinitiate here with Mel. They just immediately wait for forward. Try to burst down Fata, not quite enough edge this time around, and 9 still sticking around. He doesn't get any sort of vision there. Jumping forward here, does manage to find Cena. Nice winter skirts. It's just a puck flicking over here. Okay, with the illusions, that can do a decent amount, but still looking like it's going to be a dead Insania.
Nice fight for Tundra. A little surprised this King disrupt himself, but stuff is pretty fast there. And then Fata stays alive. That's why you always leave the house with 2 fluffy hats, guys. It keeps
Radiant's top tower deserves just as much help as
trying to get
bottom.
a pick off, though. He could grab either if he spots them.
Ooh, Fata.
Radiant's top tower is under
Look at them. They're
attack.
coming. They're mad. Look at them. 33. Gosh. Hook shot comes in from Fata. He's like, you were hunting me? Well, we're going to hunt you right back, Koiva. Silence us all off with disruption and just start stacking up the points and the click are coming out here. Who is going to get the final hit? I'm thinking it's going to be Snaking.
Right. Nice kill. Yeah, they have amazing vision advantage in their own goal. And considering, I mean, we haven't seen a Ravage, guys, but it's important that the Ravage is on board, of course. And that's going to make it hard for Liquid to feel confident taking a fight. They're winning their engagement here. They're now crossing the map after getting these kills. He's still farming really fast. Skeeter doing a great job. He's meant to finish up his own. He's working towards Scotty. Gets more blink.
This is going to be a dead insane here, I have a feeling. Yep, with a rocket flare from Fata. Yoink, that's mine.
That was good. That was like a level 2 rocket player. It was pretty magnificent skill shot by Fata.
You know, he's just good like that.
Mine's a little... Okay, he's on top. Goes orb after the tower. Oh, and now the hook shot.
Yep. Mickey, he does have the tillite though. They have tabs on. They've got the vision. There is the Yule step coming to play as in the bottom lane. Either he's going to put that target. They actually go and they use the Ravage just for Mickey.
And in the meantime, Skeeter to killing Taiga on the opposite side of the map somehow. I guess it was with help from Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Shadow Demon ulti, and he runs into that with illusions. Actually, that wasn't even meta. Illusions and a slow, good luck.
Not even necessary.
His middle tower is under attack.
Lena was a little bit low, man. Otherwise, been able to shift to 4 staff. Great for Tundra. 3 differentiate.
It's definitely
His middle tower just
33
went
just
down.
spits in Sumail. Go away. And Sumail says, no, this is mine.
That's another thing that's advantage is kind of interesting. That Tide Anchor Smash is really good against Morphling, actually, because it reduces your base damage, and Morphling is base damage for agility. So if you get the 15, you can reduce 80% Morphling's damage when it's right-clicking. It's a little difficult, of course, because you're flying around and uses Manta sometimes. They can have that in fights, really limit what Sumail does. But right now, Rose has that
And look at that. Fata, he scouts it out, but they don't have to worry about that Ravage right now. Fata, though, dropping down the sentry, realizes that they have vision. I don't think... It looks like they want to try to consistently pass it.
Radiant took down Roshan.
Oh, hook right into Koifa. And that's a dead Fata. For trying, though.
He had to move that way. He shot the rocket, so they know what area he's standing in. He had to move to a different place to try to hook. That way, he wouldn't get blocked, but this ward system moving over. So it's quite the easy block there. That moves make life safer for more fun.
And look how fast Tundra immediately beat hunts for the enemy. The enemy eagle. Like, okay, we don't want to be in that area. We still need to be farming up, so we're just going to continue, shot these waves and dodge them until they bring the fight on us.
And sneaking with his ally TB, he can disrupt
Radiant's
an illusion,
bottom
so it doesn't
tower's
slow
got
down Skeeter that
problems.
much. He can give himself fall and get around. He can disrupt Morphling to make amazing illusions, do 75% each of Morph's.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's
Shadow
bottom
Demon could
tower.
have some really big as this game continues, both with his TV and against the Morphling. So I think he has a good game. This could be really fun to watch.
I think we're going to start seeing more of the Shadow Demon. I just feel like it's too value, right? You've got, ways to steal the enemy, right? You've ways to get those illusions, and of course, like if you keep the axe online, it's not quite as important, but the fact that it provides you with all those breaks is just too good, right?
It can be really good. This game not as needed, so I don't. He's not queuing up bags right now. But if there was like a PA or some other heroes like that, yeah, it can be amazing.
But I feel like
Finds a grab.
they really just let the king get very greedy here, like really enable him, which I kind of like. Be careful, 33. Ooh, ships passing in the night though, not to land against each other. Sumail's feeling very bold, and of course he has that 8, so he is just going to start putting pressure down on the tower. Shadow Demon is bottom.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, that's so cool what they're doing. They just send an illusion all bottom to where SD is, and then he just disrupts it, and then he's just killing the tower. Look at that. They just... They must see maybe thought one of those is TV bound for sure.
It feels weird that, okay, we do finally get the Shadow Demon teleporting to the fight now.
These illusions are doing great, actually. They just fought Morphling and completely fine. 34 armor. That's a huge armor. It's a lot of damage, but him and the illusions have the same armor, and it's so much easier for Skeeter to like put pressure on the map like this. He's got basically one more creep in there. Finish would be such a good item against Morphling. If he tries to morph his stats, he's gonna have a bad time. Morphling just finished E-Blade, so yeah, he's got the solo kill power. Skeeter's doing a great job keeping Liquid away from being able to initiate. They're not allowing Morphling to hit buildings because they're pushing waves out, and the rest of the heroes are sitting far back behind the illusions to be safe. But we will see a confrontation. Maybe we'll see E-Blade do something.
Bata leading the charge. He's got some wards on him. I know, does spot Xania. He'd like to get a quick pickoff. He does have that Dagon online, of course. So, yeah, the nice solo pickoff over on the Winter Wyvern. As Tundra is now invading the triangle, and you can see Taiga's just already hightailing it out of here. They do have the vision, but I don't think they want to dive this.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
It's a hard game for Taiga to play this game. He didn't
Radiant's
stop
top tower
his
has
hard to see what
fallen.
he just couldn't do that much against the really high armor TV. Yeah, they killed Fada a bunch of times, but Fada's still been effective. And if he ever gets caught,
Dire's middle tower
he just
isn't
dies.
going to
Green,
last long.
Ravage, hook shot from Clockwork. He's going to struggle, and it's hard for him to get past the TB illusions and the heroes he actually wants to cast. So hard to put it
Oh, the save from Sinking immediately. A cement wave forward. Over on the back line. Still, they got just a bit too far here. The sun is coming because they're poking away. They fall the Ravage. Can they take him down? The first time, we'll be able to take out. And they'll follow. No, they do get rid of King. Here comes Sumail. Dream Coil's going to get used. He just stop it. Look at this damage coming out. He's going to have to use the E-Blade. Save coming out again from this Winter Wyvern, but they're going to go right back into some dead Morphling. As the hunt is on, Sadia trying to go up the high ground. Is going to run out to Papa and 33, but Scotty Dim to the slow mobility coming out from Sadia's. Please, and these creeps will not oblige.
I can't wait to see the start of that. I think Morphling just tried to get a free game with the equal combo, and as a result, Lucian's out. Shadow even got instantly ulted Morphling's morphing stats. They ignored him at the start of the fight. Here he is. We had an invis as well, so here he is spotting.
Immediately.
I don't know why he was keen already, but to a bad spot, he used Morph offensively, he couldn't get out easily, and at the same time, all the pressure into the Void Spirit. He used all of his Astral Depths. He ends up dying SC to the back line, but they got everything else. When he respawns here, he's got max strength already, so he doesn't have very much armor, and he because they saved Dreamcold. Really by Tundra. Utilize all their skills so easily. That was cool. The cog worked to make Dreamcold a little bit more. Very cool.
It's very nice indeed. They also ended up having to use the BKB charge over on Koifa during all that as well. So a very costly engagement inside of Liquid, especially considering that they did have Aegis in the top of the lane. More action coming out. The hook shot. They used the Laguna over here. The top number on the 9. By a little bit more time, he's probably going to go down here as the silence. Yep, that is a dead 9, but the rest of them Fata will be able to walk away from this engagement. So perhaps a bit too greedy.
It's a hard kill for sure. He's got 1,200 HP and heal, so I mean, good luck killing him with those two heroes.
Better yourself from Fata will just annoy him. He'll turn his attention back.
It's just a little bit too dangerous. SD ulti's great. It's going to dispel all of his astral or resistance pulse shield, so he doesn't have to take as much damage. Between those two,
Dyer's middle tower isn't going to last long.
Witchblade. It's got the damage, but it's just not high enough.
Dyer's structures are fortified.
Well, this is take 2 now for the side of Liquid as they're going to try to take the middle tier 2 tower again, where some of those high cooldowns are on, high ultimates are now on cooldown, coming out on Tundra, so don't have to worry too badly, although there is the Ravage backup, so.
A little different build is quite here. He's leaving his rotation at 1 skill point. He's got a bunch of staff as well.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
He's like the perfect state build, very similar to Morphling.
Not much good's
Must be
happening
as
to
tanky,
Radiant's
high
bottom
damage, high
tower.
mana as possible. For amazing against now with the damage, that's what we're doing.
Yes, indeed.
Maple see a lot of you destroyed here.
Now they're going to try themselves a quick final get. What a punk. This is something that I feel like it used to be Boxy and Tiger. They used to make these moves all over the map together, you know, finding these openings and trying to get quick pickups and
Radiant's bottom tower's
gets
got
himself nice damage.
I really like Puck as well. He's already very burst damage focused, so being able to apply Witchblade from an extra
Are those
300
cracks in
range
Dyer's
every 5
top
seconds
tower?
is incredible. Very good. Really on Void Spirit as well. It'll probably the 18th
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
lots of burst damage on both sides.
The Agno Scepter is now completed for the
Radiant's
Morphling
bottom
now.
tower is under
Okay,
attack.
so who's he trying to turn into? An ally, for sure. Probably.
Not much good's
Wyvern?
happening to Radiant's
Well,
bottom tower.
Just a little extra range. You can have the
fortified their structures.
Have to stay in that form. 'Cause it's like a
Radiant's bottom tower
We'll
is
see
under
how it works,
attack.
but
They're beating on Dyer's top tower. Radiant's bottom tower is no more.
It's kind of dispellable though by Shadow Demon ulti. One of the nice things about FTs is just Void Spirit perhaps. It's okay, but none
Radiant's
of it
bottom
really
tower's
rebounded
got
me just yet.
problems.
But
Satanic online for speed. BKB does get picked for Mickey though, so gets to jump to 2. A 4 from 33 with a beautiful ravage over onto 2. They just blow up Mickey almost instantly. The hookshot comes in, it slows it down Koifa as Skeeter ducks out the double damage. And that tower
Are those cracks in Dyer's top
after last
tower?
game, all right. Brandable on TV as well here
Where
with
did
Satanic
Radiant's
picked
middle
up.
tower go?
Pressure not going to slow down here.
I mean, tradition says that Tundra takes the game too, usually, though. They've got to be feeling real good right now. Taiga, careful here. 9. Dagon coming out over on the back end. Not damage to smokes going to the orb. No, the smell, rocket. Not quite enough. Very close, though.
He is slowing them down. I mean, he's got the permanent arc burn here. Burns his mana, of course, but I mean, putting that extra damage on suddenly it's going to make it harder for them to fight. But slow him down. His life for sure. Heal on him. He died to the rocket. That was pretty okay. Decent start to the first Eggs use. The other thing is it increases cast range, I think. So, well, your other cast range here, sure.
The poke.
What's the deal with them here? Which after the orb is gonna miss, then is it?
Smart.
Rocket flare. Yeah, they heals him for like 50 HP. He definitely would have died from the rocket flare. really nice save there.
What a team player, Mel. The next objective likely is going to be the Roche. They're checking the pit. And getting themselves positioned. Look at all the vision. Look at all the wards coming out, too. We'll find themselves a quick pick off. Fata is position 5. The step forward. Mickey is getting a little too grumpy here. No, the rest of the team is falling right behind, but he's so tanky. Gotta get staffed up to the high ground, and they just disengage easily. And you can see these illusions are causing a lot of problems for the side of Liquid.
Just roll the TB pretty easily. Well, I think you can transform from the illusions.
Not
And
much
he can
good's
do the
happening to
same
Radiant's
push out
bottom
on the map a
tower.
little bit, but it's still a little bit more restricted. It's quite always available, and it's pretty clear that skill. This is definitely the most annoying thing about playing against TV when good players do this. It is like it's like playing against Axe, or it's like the same thing. You just send illusions down a wave. These illusions rip apart hill. It takes a lot of effort to do, and it's hard to as a result.
Taiga forcing away though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But they really want this Roche. It's up now. It's the positioning. Got the eggs online here, so got a nice little puddle.
Hard. Again.
Question. Okay. Gonna poke his head in. Use one of those remnants. Just see if anybody's home. No one's visiting just yet, but you can tell that Nancy, they want to knock on the door.
Not any really obvious sharp grabbers here, but probably going to gather TB or puck. We'll see. Definitely not going to be Jetpack, I can tell you.
I love Jetpack. I just don't feel picked it up in one of the S games. He like dove to the base, bought that package, and was like, see you later. It was like a cartoon. I think it's so funny. It's not good, but it's really funny.
I wonder if Peter is going to leave Reflection at one skill so that when Flame turns into him, it doesn't have level 4.
That would next level play for sure.
But it also gets talent makes his counter administration better. Counter image, I forget that that's not Reflecting talent. My confused.
He's tired.
I'd be a little surprised. He'll probably see eventually. Really good against Morphling.
We've got a big smoke coming out here. They're sweeping around quite the mark. That's the team still hiding behind, though. Not ready to spin away. And Mickey is pretty deep here. They have to be because 30. Okay, that is the EKB coming out. Is going to get down, popped up, gets right back. That is the Mickey. He will pop the Snake King. Great first up, but the disruption coming out. Say from Snake King. Jump forward again from Non. They're going to try to pick off Insane. Yeah, LSA does connect. By just a more time, but they don't drop on that sentry trying to see. As now you can see this terrible. He's big, he's bad, he's scary, but he hasn't got his hands on anyone just yet. There is no wire window. Potentially, go into this pit. See, Mickey, the Ravage comes out and late. Mickey still a little still. Thinking about going back in here. Taiga finding himself a kill on Snake. It was a buyback, I believe. Now BK version as well off 9, poking away, and the hot clockwork over on the back line. They get the kill over to going for 9. They just still keep chasing after him here. Get the kill off Peter. The follow up here over to Taiga. They need a little bit more hits. They don't quite have to melt. Trying to dodge away. Going for the back 33 though. Kills. Making will pull to some mail.
Okay.
And these illusions are pelting him. That was all over the place. 33 doing his own thing over here. They have the Yule sizzle kittle of a dead Tide Hunter.
All right, great fight by Sumail there. Jumps in, TB kill. They hit him with a bunch of disables. I think Sumail turned into probably that the silence was coming from. Something like that. Because ultimately it started with 9 paid over the commit, and that's just
Oh my god, is he gonna make it too? Alright, they're gonna buy a little bit more time. They do have the stun to rate this make it. He will survive the flare coming out though. Oh my god. Ata, careful. Koifa's hunting. They've got vision on you. Sumail is not. He bought back. Saying, yeah, opening it with that Arctic. After Mickey, Oh, hook shot. It's just a tiny bit of time, but not nearly enough as Smell gets right back into that pit. He's got to be mad about that. You just pick now for Smell. You've got on Koifa, and there's a little treat left inside the pit there for Mickey.
Okay, well,
This is immediately. Pew!
Saw him so quick there, and that puts the buyback. They get no shot of it, and there's a.
Oh, look at that.
It's not careful, but
That's projectile. It almost connected.
that was great.
Got hit too with the rocket flare coming. Look at how chill Camille is. He's just like,
We
Is
got
that bubble tea? Man, I want bubble tea.
I mean, in a lot of ways, them getting boots over Terrorblade is a huge deal
Someone
because
better help
with
Riot's
TB
middle
not having
tower.
BKB just yet, he probably stays next to he has some outs, but not being able to sunder is the scariest thing. Ultimately, maybe the biggest issue in that fight
Dire's
was
middle tower
the
is
Ravage from
under
Thailand.
attack.
3-3 got a
Dire's
little
middle
bit too
tower
hot.
has fallen.
Ravage, it didn't kill anybody. That's the skill you need to buy yourself a second or two of reset to get to your hero. And the supports also were targeted really effectively by quite
Dire's
close.
middle tower isn't going to last long.
Hunting fought up. Taking those heroes out of the fight is a big advantage.
I mean, the Shadow Demon has, it's their main source of save for the most part, right? So it's very, very important that they get that off. You can't have those Shadow poison stacks just stacking up. I think it's definitely the right jump onto the back lines. Otherwise, you start to run into the issue in their games when you like a Shadow Demon. I think we also saw it was paired up with like an Enchantress. They're just allowed to so back and just pelt out all this damage.
Yeah, it's something that you got to deal with. SD's benefit mostly, in my opinion, about
Dire's
disruption.
top tower is under attack.
And occasionally on players for some, but
We do.
it's got to push out their lanes, and but Thunder just wants to time till they get BKB. Never mind, it's
They have BKB. I was just about to say it. Skeeter just picked up that BKB, and now it's smoke on smoke action. The question is who gets the job on first. Fox is sitting on the low ground. Spot out here. Now turning himself into Wyvern. Tries to slow down though. There's a four. They immediately just delete Mata. And now Skeeter has to run away.
Invisibility.
Words for the fight starts. I suppose. It was definitely scary for Thunder trying to cross the river there.
Yeah.
Going across in that position is just going to be way too difficult.
Ooh, the trick's
Picked up for
close.
TP.
though.
Very good hit. It's going to double invasion and some necessary magic resistance against.
All right, so a bit of a piece after that kickoff. Again, I think they spotted the BKB now. Okay, they're going to be able to now, for sure, as they make their way through. So to see what the next move is here.
This is one tier 4 item on the Thunder side. TV holding both of the tier 4 items in it.
They see Koifa immediately. They want to set them up, and they'll go and follow up with the BKB. He's here. He's his own BKB, so it doesn't really matter too much that they have that E-Blade. So they're able to take out Koifa this time around.
You're trying to slow down.
Oh, he's still trying. He's chasing after him. Okay, they have the hook. They have the Ravage. Want to get rid of him. He's all straight from the north, though. He's got the silence, so he's going to have some longevity. The result cost as well. Be way for away over to Synthania. We go back. No, run back. Trying to make some plays. He's got the BKB, but this Scotty, of course, doing so much for slowing him down. The dump forward, though, they have over a minute. And it looks like he's going to survive. Even goes and drops that 8th remnant just in case. 9 just a little bit further than that. But, of course, he cannot follow up with this puck. So he'll back off.
He's doing great. Are making a big difference there, giving him some after the dangerous backline dive. But Fitch for Morphling didn't end up being worth it. They interrupted his TB, but he just away. They need the TB, I believe, to hit him with the Scotty. A little bit too fast. He buys time to get away from Card. Otherwise, the start was good. They used Extreme Quill for puck on the Slaughter. Slaughter, they don't have to worry about their backline support as much. Their supports can defend themselves against Morphling and Spirit a bit, but Slaughter just like way too much target survivable damage.
This is a situation where you want to see the supports possibly pick up something like an Aeon Disc, especially the Shadow Deep.
Yeah. You know, he's on his way. It can help a huge amount for sure. Has more stuff, so he's definitely better against the Slaughter. And as he doesn't want to have to do this little prison.
Oh, time is haunted. Silence. He's stunned it. Now he's dead.
Huh.
Simulator stunned for 2.5 seconds. Oh my god.
He got too, and surprise, and that's something kind of significant actually. Not hasn't bought himself fuels this whole game, and Nikkei bought like Ag's first. It's like the first time he got killed by him. So it's pretty impressive that Nine's been able to put getting solo kill this long, instead on having as much damage as possible for the other hero.
But I feel like Yules is totally, it's always built into, or not built into, but like it's always in the build, right? For a Void Spirit, because it's really good. No, for the
Dire's bottom tower is under
he's able to
attack.
set up, and then he also uses it as a save. It's a little more aggressive. Yeah, 33 picking that up early, so catcher. They've got a lot of damage here. They've got the Scotty. They already went with the hook. No, nice save here coming out from. He's turned himself into Winter Riot. It's like this opening, gonna win forward. Yeah, and there's gonna be the buyback now from 9. BKB coming out from Skeeter as he's trying to hunt down Samel. He's not quite finding him over here. More buyback coming. Oh, forward here over on Samel. He hexed up the stun. They'll make follow up with that Ravage. They finish off in time. Yes, they finally managed to burst the Samel. Back from his kill. He finds himself in the vertical corner. Still gonna get the final hit off. And the hunt on. He is far too fast, but 9, he's trying pretty hard here. He's got that illusory arm. So just keep poking away, but there's a bit of a candy burn. They don't have any white going around, and they're the most important objective on this board, I think, right now.
That's tough in the river. He's just
It's just a motorboat.
It was crazy though. The hex pick here, not Tide often gets, but he hasn't gotten vitamin all. Picks up the hex. They use to initiate, which is really effective. Skeeter tried to use his Ag to take the wave, transform to do a chain stun, but it wasn't at the same time. So as a result, Void Spirit gets BK'd off, and things like Tundra, but they were able to get the pick off on Void Spirit. He escaped. 9 dove past him with the dragon, the bonus damage. And that's kind of what opened up the right.
Look what they're doing to Radiant's middle
Now they can
barracks.
just make decisions to push, and they don't have to really commit very hard. Victory's just, he's showing off here.
Radiant
Right here, so
structures
that
have been
you can do
so
that.
fortified. Not much
Ski left,
good
you don't have
happening
to pick
for
the boys up right now.
So many illusions. It's like a PLCG or something.
Yeah, it really is. Quite trying to man fight over here this one TD later, and it's just looking really rough. Yeah, we talked about it earlier for supports, but also it has been picked up for the puck as well. And I feel like that's very necessary, especially like we said for the Shadow Demon. Extremely necessary that he's able to survive and get these spells off in the fights.
Because it's going to feel it all. Shadow Demon skill damage for a couple seconds. It's the utility of his abilities to buy his team a lot of time. So Shard on Quake as well, kind of interesting. Applies phase on illusions and creep waves and stuff, so we'll be able to push these out a bit.
Pretty necessary, I would say, considering.
There's a lot more damage with
tower
it.
deserves
With
just as much
now.
help as
I think he's
bottom.
using it as like an ability to push points, basically. So it's kind of a cool pickup. Not normally something you get able to start with fast push of waves. He needs it against TV.
An onslaught reminds me of the little trivia. How many TV illusions have been killed, Purge? How many would you guess? I'm gonna say 36.
I think it's 27.
Drum roll, please.
Dive naturally.
45. A 1. Ha-ha! Party horn.
It's been a while.
They're all over the map, though. Like, especially when you consider the fact that, Snake King has been just, using the push out waves as well, farming. So it's been the most value. I'm not sure if it's the most value Terrorblade or the most value Shadow Demon. I guess it's Terrorblade, right? Because you're using his illusions. Sometimes Zamail,
exactly.
too, if you're capable enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of illusion spam going on in this game, alright. But I think the most significant thing is that Skeeter only died 1 time. Zamail's died 3 times. Skeeter's farmed way faster because his ability to push across the entire map with his illusions. He's got 10,000 more net worth than Morphling. So at this point, he's sitting really good, honestly. He can't get much more farm than this. In fact, he switched his neutral item Spider Legs just so that he would have an extra item slot for items. And this is like a perfect situation to have Spider Legs. When you have this ultra farmed carry at this point of the game, you don't want to sacrifice your movement speed. But a lot of players do, but it does hurt you sometimes in some of the late game fights. So, but now he's going to be able to get 7 slotted. Like he's about to eat his eggs, basically. Then he's going to have another slot, which could be a rapier. It could be a Daedalus. There's a lot of things he could buy here.
Production loves to watch this clutch. Look at him snaking. It goes in. Can he get it up in time? Oh, we'll never know because we're going to stop. There we go.
Wow. Did break that bounty rune.
Denied.
36.
No, but like you said, with the, you know, the fact that they've got the spider legs online for the Terror Blade, it's so value, right? Because of the fact you've got so much mobility coming out from the rest of your team. You've got a hook shot from the Clockwork. You've got Dream Coil with the blink coming out here with the puck. You've got the jump coming out from a Tidehunter. Like, so you're not super concerned about, you know, chasing in necessarily, because a lot of the times they're going to be held into place if everything goes according to plan here for Tundra. Whereas Liquid, they're struggling a little bit. These fights have been so incredibly split too. I know, like, I'm trying to watch everything and there's something going on the other side of the screen that we just aren't able to see or show everybody. But, you know, everyone is just, it almost feels like sometimes making it a little bit too far or trying to get onto the back line, because somebody does, right? Somebody has to, whether it's Koifa or Mickey. But then the problem is, like, Wyvern's slow. Wyvern is not the fastest hero. Lena has to be careful with the positioning. She could get blown up so easily. And then, of course, you know, Sumail is just trying to do as much as he can in the fight, just generally speaking, trying to figure out who is my target, who do I blow up, how do I get there?
Yeah, I can't imagine playing in a situation like this. There's just like so many decisions that you have to make in a rapid amount of time. You got who do I transform into? How do I use my skills? When do I hard commit to trying to get a kill or something like that? It's just also difficult. And Liquid has shown that it's pretty easy for them to turtle, at least, because they can just turn into Winter Wyvern and just start slapping Arctic Burns into people, which does, you know, 9% of their current health. That can be a nice way to slow things down, but Tundra's just going to outfarm, and I feel like their supports are just scaling better too. Like SD, once he gets an Ags, is going to be really terrifying. His ulti does 700 damage now with the talent that goes through magic immunity. So if he just slaps one on Slardar, like that's the best thing about playing SD like him with Ags. You just put like one ulti on both carries,
Let's
and then with
get on with it.
you ult the other guy, and it's 2 carries really taken out of the fight because of major slow. And if one of those Slardar, he doesn't get to use Guardian Sprint, it's really valuable and making the Slaughter back.
All right, Liquid, they're smoked up and they're hoping that they can make something happen here. 33 is, of course, the one forward. Minus here as well. That forward. Oh, they follow up, though. It is speed. Just do it, but that's going to be a nice one just from the back line. As it's rapid. Let's go up here from 33. See, now he can't get over there as he loses a big game. Immediately, the BK coming in now from Skeeter as they're hunting Insania. Can they grab him, though? They've got the silence. Maybe one hit from the guy's going to get himself a double kill. So they do manage to go disrupt. Sumail, he's in trouble. He does have the BK. Look at the Scotty damage. Look at the map just coming. It's going to try to waveform up. Don't quite have that vision, although he's trying the best he can. That is scary. And there's a gem dropped over here on the ground, too.
Fortunate 9 and such a good job at that team. Smoke breaks. They were able to phase shift, hide back, and then gets a big dream crawl into hero. Now catching the other side of this.
Oh, the hook shot. He's locked down. They have the damage, the force to the side, and Fata with the kill.
That's absolutely not a ward that you expect on the Liquid side, because it's been a long time since the first, but that observe ward near the super shop spots him out to get another kill on the map. So normally, Slardar will be able to get a couple creeps killed, maybe finishes AC here, but not. Instead, get the map control. Roche is going to hit the refresher shard, 3 Axe jar. Amazing on 9. It'd be really good counter. They safe on TB.
Everyone's a good candidate.
Yeah.
At this point. Nothing that Liquid can do here. Nick's still 40-something seconds, no buyback. They do have buyback point, but they've got buyback on Tyga, but they're not people that want to die to that pit, so Liquid on the back end now. Look at this illusion. He's just chewing through their things. Fata's just playing around a little bit here, thinking about, you know, maybe a hook shot. That's exactly the same player. This is the problem. You just keep throwing out all these illusions. There are 3. He's taking a little bit of damage over here. Very slow chip. Pumping forward. Immediately, they just blow up the man. He's dead. He's got no buyback. here. Tundra, want this. Wi-Fi, he's going to be forced to buy back here. They're going to afford to lose these buildings this quickly. But I don't know how they'll get in there. Look at this. They're moving through. Wi-Fi over to that. Get the sides off here. Over on spots. To be able to get the kill. This is not looking good enough. The yellow save buys a little bit more time. The fear just pushing it right back. Snaps the coil. They'll take their Wi-Fi. Mid-game's also run. They use the rampage. They want to get rid. There's no buyback. 4 of the players on the side of with Tundra. They did it. Game number 2 and tradition. They love and Liquid is going to go down and lose this game.
They played so good this game. The only pressure that came was on heroes that basically didn't matter. The ports died a little bit at like a high rate in the early stages of the game, but they got the heroes farmed that they needed to. They kept the lanes pushed out. They
Choose your hero.
Should have seen it coming. Both teams just sticking with what their team is. This is what they've done for years. Yeah,
I just Lone Druid on Liquid is very scary.
X factor is that the Liquid supports are all just damage, right? The Tusk with the Snowball Stave is possible, whereas on the side of Tundra, a lot of counter initiation that can come out from the clock, but specifically the Oracle and the Darkseer. You're going to have an early Piper Greaves. Maybe he'll go for an Ags, maybe go for Solar Crest, whatever, but you don't have that option on Liquid to get those really early supportive items. You don't have an Oracle. You don't have that hard save. So it's going to be more difficult for Liquid to execute team fights. They're going to want to burst the target immediately, but Tundra have the tools to prevent that from happening.
And when you guys are talking about Lone Druid doing well against the Clock and the Darkseer, does that mean that we're going to see lane swaps until that lane is there for the side of Liquid? Like, is that the one that they want to set up for?
This isn't going to be as devastating. We've seen some terrible stuff. I think these teams are going to be a lot simpler. Just go to the lane, apply the pressure, get the early farm and go. It's not... around.
Okay, well, hopefully that won't happen. We're going to find out what will happen together with Moxie and Purge. Here's game 3.
All right, game number 3. We have a Skeeter Wraith King, we have a Koifa Lone Druid, and I have a feeling that once this game hits into the late game portion, we're in for a bloodbath, Purge.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun match to watch. It's always cool to see games where teams have counterplay potential. Kyle was talking about having Oracle against Heavy Burst is going to make his role really important, not just because of his ulti, but also because of Fate's Edict to block magic. Some of his heroes here. They are going to spot the bear. The bear, I think, saw the orb, so that reveals that they are there, despite the smoke up on these non-hero units. But yeah, Koifa is going to be playing basically a carry this game, and Mickey is going to be playing off lane. We'll see how the role swap works out for him, but it's the heroes they're familiar with, so it should be okay.
Yeah, I don't think you're concerned
30
about this at
seconds to
all
battle.
over on Liquid. I think, if anything, it's one of the strengths of the players that they have for their particular team, is they can be so incredibly flexible, whether it's Koifa, you know, playing the core role, or sometimes, you know, off lane. You know, Mickey has been, you know, dabbling in all different ones, depending on what their draft calls for. And, yeah, now with Sumail added into the mix, you have just so much flexibility. But that one word giving them a lot of information over on the side of Tundra, being able to spot all 3 of those heroes over to the side. So they're going to bully Mickey away here.
Bad. Tyga does get the boundary in, but he's going to take a huge amount of damage here. Cost him a salve. Okay, he dodges the orb, so he'll be okay.
A little bit of body blocks coming out here from the bear, too. Gonna slow them down just a bit. And yeah, otherwise, you know, should be a fairly standard matchup over here in the mid lane. Tiny, of course, doing fairly well against the puck.
Interesting, quick sending back his bear to get his first items, then he'll recall the bear to himself after using the keys.
Efficiency. Special delivery service here from, what is this bear called again? That's something silly about it. Oh yeah, Michael Vu.
Not gonna happen.
Named after the teammate here.
Yeah. The Blights will be really nice here, though, because they've already got Orb of Venom on Tusk, and use Tag Team to amplify the physical. Certainly threatens snaking a little. It's not fair.
I mean, that's the scary bit, too, is the fact that, you know, it is a double melee sort of lineup here in this lane, and Tag Team does so incredibly well against this. One of the reasons why we've been seeing, you know, some of that Dark Willow picked up, just because it's fairly decent against, you know, the Tusk position 5.
The kind of pressure and survivability as a support is really helpful, if and especially in those like mid and late game fights, kind of similar to Shadow Demon. If you can protect yourself, it really wastes a lot of crucial time for some of those diving type heroes to go get the kill.
Radiant's bottom tower's got problems.
So far, Tiny doing very well mid, 9-2 versus Puck's 5-1, but with his damage advantage, not too surprising.
As expected, for sure. I think it'll be interesting, too, when we do get those level 6 online here. I would like to see 9 be very active. Of course, Mickey, though, probably going to be the one who makes the moves over here on the side of Liquid once he gets that arena up.
Masterfully denied.
block in large camp. Small camp ends up getting dewarded, so Fada can outpull. So this is looking decent for Tundra at the moment. Wraith King going about even in terms of last hitting. You do have to be very careful against this AA dual lane, though. AA plus Mars is a lot of damage. This is one of the reasons AA has been pretty valued lately. It's just because he has really solid harassment and kill potential with any other ally that can disable. So just keep just not careful, could get out harassed. He actually went for a really fast Wraith Band, very surprising. Huh.
Something a little bit different.
It is. It's a lot of extra armor, is one thing. But it's not as much damage as a Bracer would give him, but it'll increase his attack speed and it'll make the right-click damage that Mars does a bit less. So could help him out a lot in the laning stage. Think of it like a cheap chainmail, basically.
That's one of the nice things about watching these upper division games is sometimes you see a little bit of a modification coming out in terms of the builds, but top lane Fada is getting bullied just a little bit. It looks like he's going to be fine, though. Purges that off immediately.
He's worried about getting dived over there, actually. Works out all right, though. Skeeter picks up level 3.
Ooh.
The bot lane, a little pressure on 3-3, but trap him back in.
I mean, the initiation versus reinitiation coming out from both sides is pretty crazy in this bottom lane, right? So, you know, maybe you land a nice shards, snowball sort of thing, but you just follow up immediately with the cogs, with the battery assault, and just try to readjust here, so.
They're just going to both hard commit, basically. They've got level 2 Ion Shell now, so this is looking really good for Tundra. They can skill vacuum 2 if they need it. If Void is not careful, gets out of position, it could be bad for him.
Should be fairly quiet, though, until we get those level 6s online here for both sides.
It might try.
33, he's ticking down. Boyfriend's gonna get the first blood. Tiger will fall next. Snaking.
Well, I wish I would have gotten the bear. The bear, it was like there was 2 targets, both would have been really good. Do you want 300 gold, or do you want the experience of killing a hero and killing him? They made the right choice, of course.
Radiant's middle tower
A little
shouldn't
too
have
much
to take this
damage
abuse.
for 3-3 to tank through. Boots coming for somebody else. I believe those are, snaking. They got boots out of that, so that's pretty big advantage. Level 2 battery assault, level 2 ion shell, running down his opponent's gonna be even easier because Tusk is trying to get the fast orb of corrosion, so he's not gonna have his movement speed here. Be vulnerable for them.
Could be indeed, as again another shards come out. Snaking is just ticking down, and that will be another kill here for Tygo over the mid lane. 9 poking away at Smail. Not quite enough damage here. Doesn't have that orb up either, so Smail is going to be able to go use a bottle charge and has to play very carefully because he will definitely get doven by 9.
Didn't even tell that he had boots on Clockwork earlier. It's too much disable. Too much damage. Despite the ion shell potentially on 2 people, that's I think the difference. I think they only had 1 ion shell when they fought to the death here. So Liquid just has to be careful when they choose to go for those kills and they pick the right moment.
Just be quiet, trying to take down this courier over here. They need 1 more hit to take down Mickey's courier. Not going to be able to quite find it. As the wave is pushed in here in the top. And there's a chase over here on 33. Ooh, good shards coming in hot here. Snaking is here, though, with battery assault. He's going to try to use those ion shells. There's going to be the surge coming out here from 33. But just a bit more time, and Snaking will also retreat. Getting chased down by the bear, though. Just have to be a little careful, and they're still going to chase after him here. Hoping maybe to contest here for the rune. 33 is healing up, but not healing up quite fast enough. So Koifa should be able to kind of bully them out of this area. Like, look at this. This bear's just running at 33. Gets a root off to the side. Feels bad, man.
I mean, he zoned him from the boundary. I guess it does force him all the way back, at least to force the salve out of Snaking there. Not all bad. I'm a little surprised he committed so hard, but hey, giving Tusk some moments to get last hits, gets him his boots. It's going to make their pressure even better. So this is kind of like the same thing that happened in the first game as well. Quakefa and Taiga as a dual lane partnership is they're just so good at winning their lane. They know the moments to force fights, and even though Tundra has conventional strong looking lanes, they keep getting these kills.
We talked about it as well, the fact that, you know, it feels like Tundra, they really kind of need 33 to have a good lane. Top lane, though, a little bit of skirmishing going back and forth between Fata and Insania. Not in too much here, just tossing out some spells to be annoying. But, you know, 9 did have a standout performance on the last puck game that he had, but, you know, it really does come down to having 33 also being able to follow him up. That's kind of their dynamic duo that we see frequently coming out from Tundra.
Sumail glyphing a little bit late to prevent the wave from being cleared. Move out in time. Curious if Skeeter's going to go for a Midas this game. It seems to be like the new popular Wraith King build. Rather than going Armlet, you just go for the Midas. It's very likely, I suppose, this game, because there's an A on the enemy team. You don't want to buy Armlet against that hero, and it still gives you like good farm speed and stuff like that. Great sentry by Insane. He's going to grab a ward and a sentry with that one. Dust Mask on Wraith King now. He'll farm very rapidly. Bottle will hold the wave most likely, try to get some levels. 9 in the mid lane is still leveling, and last hitting fine against Tiny. Pretty much even. Only lane that's going a little bit rough is basically Darkseer. Darkseer's less last hits than his opponent offlaner does. But on the bright side, Snake King's almost 6. Heart's looking good on them. He gets a fast hook shot.
Oh, bottom lane vacuum. He should be able to run away. Dodges around the shards. They do have the snowball, though. It's going to slow down right underneath the tower. That's a dead 33, but over in the mid lane, they are making plays here. They're trying to put out as much damage as they can over onto Sumail. And Sania also making this rotation here, but Snakey, he's fast. Can he get the kill on Sumail? No, he can't. At the last second, though. Bata will find this opening, and now the spear against the trees. 9, maybe he's overcommitted just a little bit. Does have the orb. Taiga, though, coming in hot. Throwing out the shards. Is it enough? Not quite. As now 9 is going to be allowed to walk away. But there is a double damage rune up here.
Still very, very good for Liquid as a whole, I guess. I guess losing Tiny wasn't so good, but he got a kill first, so he still gets experience out of the rotation. Reminds me of last game in the sense that Wraithing is just, he gets a bit of a free lane here with all these fights happening in other places. So as long as Tundra gets some of the kills, absolutely worth it for them to get these exchanges. And Park's going to go Witch Blade again. Wants to have that harass and burst potential on the side lanes if possible. Been weird for Quake either. Mask of Madness phase boots on his bear. Very normal stuff here.
I was curious as to, you know, we had the level 6 online for Puck, so I wanted to see him, you know, start skirmishing around a bit. But like I said, I was a bit curious if he would make a rotation to the bottom lane, because 33 is, of course, struggling. But they do have, you know, a couple stacks going on, so he's going to be able to farm up that way. Is that enough to help him recover, do you think?
On 33. Stacks definitely help, sure, but I feel like Darkseer, the nice thing about it is you're kind of getting farm no matter where you're standing. Throw Iron Shells on Creep Wave, you go back and do stacks, and then when team fight's happening, you'll still be really effective. Like, Darkseer doesn't typically lane dominate like he used to back in the day. And right now, we'll see if he can survive.
They go and they drop the wall. They'll hold them in place with these cogs as well, but it doesn't matter because 33, he does full Snaking now. There's going to be the hook shot. He's trying to just stun up by a bit more time. He's not going to be able to do it as Taiga will get the final hit. 9 doing some hunting behind the tower, but the top tower goes down for Liquid, so definitely a values fight here for the side of Liquid.
It just reminds me so much of the first game where they like could win the lane, but they just die a little bit more, and as a result, there's just a massive advantage now. Whereas before, if they get kill potential and they then yeah, there's options. But the Lone Druid Bear plus Tusk and the Lone Druid Hero, that's so much tag team damage. They just couldn't out DPS them, and they died too many times now. 6 total deaths on the Tundra side in that offlane, where all the deaths have been.
So at this point, do you even bother going down? And I feel like you still need to try to attempt a gank, but you just have to bring quite a few more heroes, right? Obviously, the Clockwork and the Darkseer not enough. Perhaps if they take 9 as well, is that a worthwhile investment, or?
I don't know if they can kill. If I get this ulti off, I feel like the engagement is over. Like, you're just not going to get a kill. Like, if you get separated by hook shot and they can follow that layer that with less ganking us.
They see that vision getting tossed up here. They're smoked up on the side of Liquid. They're hoping to make some plays with Sumail and Insania, but immediately just trying to back off to get the cogs off. The nice blast toss in. The follow-up with a nice arena here from Miguez. They'll focus down Snaking. He's going to be first to fall. 9 is now trapped inside. Does have the Dream Coil over to 3, but he needs backup. He doesn't have his team. He's next to go down. At 33, he does manage to get the vacuum wall combo off, but it doesn't even matter. Miguez gets himself a triple kill, and it looks like there's going to be another kill as Koifa finds himself a Fata.
What a run down there. Tundra did a great job trying to slow it down. They put the Oracle, they pulled the creep wave with the Rocket Flare, trying to keep the tower alive. And they put Fate's Edict on Clock to stop a lot of that damage from coming, but it was way too much, and they were still able to catch the heroes on the back line. 9, I didn't see exactly how he got into that, but he was trapped in the arena with his abilities on cooldown, and he wasn't able to escape. So here it is again. But he pulls the creep wave, he puts cogs down, they save him from that burst damage, but with the snowball, Puck ends up phase shifting there, he tries to silence to get outside, but he misjudged, and that's what committed him to dying. So, I mean, Puck made a mistake there. He needed to get out of that to not get caught. And then even though the vacuum wall was so good, the fight was over at that point. They'd already used all of their committal of spells. So what looked like a great vacuum wall, there was no follow-up, and now
it's the dead 33.
Control is important. They don't want DDs this game. They want invis runes.
Okay, they're going to try to make a play here over on Taiga. Snowball, Walrus punch forward. Do they have enough damage to take him out? Not quite as Bata now forced away. Mickey looking for the spear. Nice body blocking here coming out again from this clockwork. They will be able to finally slay Mickey.
Thanks.
Skeeter has to rotate for that one, but decent kill. 3-3 gets the gold. Even dig up a beautiful bounty rune that got lost in the ground here. Darkseer is going for a medallion into Solar Crest Rush, so he's not going to be super tanky, but he just wants, they need to make Wraith King strong, because otherwise they're just going to have too many issues in this match.
Got problems.
I mean, I feel like that has consistently been the name of the game for the side of Tundra whenever we do see Skeeter get his Wraith King.
Not much good's happening to Radiant's
just have to hope that they
bottom
can
tower.
make the space here. Taiga throwing out the shards. Making taunting a little bit. Nine will go and collect himself that creep on his way out, but they do have to be a little careful. Plenty of other heroes in the vicinity here on the side of Liquid. Ready to jump in? We have the Blink Dagger, of course, completed for Sumail, so he's going to be able to blow up people very easily, especially with Insania following. And again, I like the duo. I like watching, these guys make these gang squads. Again, they're going to try to negate some of that magic damage.
Dire's bottom tower needs some help.
Just some time there. Does the Ice Blast? Sumail wasn't able to get the toss follow-up either, so not on Sable. A nice
Dire's
evasion there,
bottom tower is
but
being
4K gold
chipped
disadvantage
away.
is not insignificant, and it's going to lead to Lone Druid getting pretty far. It's up a Maelstrom. Tristine gives him some AoE, some ability to farm. We'll see if he commits to the full Mjolnir or goes for a different. Generally, attack speeds are really, really good on Lone Druid, and against a Radiance that's going to come later on, Mjolnir active is really good as well. Let's see if Darkseer can survive.
Oh, he's just on the cusp there, so he's able to teleport out. And Liquid's going to be searching those woods for a little while longer.
Gonna watch the replay for that one, that's for sure. Gotta learn those new spots to dupe, guys. So I've learned a new one. Saves his life. 3-3 is always so good at being up to date on the newest tricks and tips and stuff like that.
Radiant's middle tower could use some help.
And that could have been his 6th death. We'll ignore the first 5 deaths.
Because it was so sick, that one juke spot.
Evaded that 6, yeah. That 6th.
And definitely, knowing where you're positioning, and the juke spots are very, very important now. As there have been quite a few added, and that makes for some very exciting and entertaining Dota. They have to be careful, though. The evasion's coming in here from Liquid. They spot themselves out a nice, juicy stack. That hurts. You don't want to lose that. You can't really do anything about it, though.
Looks like they'd rather fight. Sumail's in
Radiant's
position to be
bottom
they're just
tower's
going
got
for
problems.
that one feels really bad. This is slowing down Skeeter so much. He ended up not going for the Midas, instead opting to go towards Relic and Radiance faster, but he still doesn't have the Relic thing there. Farm speed of the enemy team is just really high. Even Mickey is matching him on the Mars. He's gone tanky.
I guess Radiant fortified
Is that the correct play to skip the Midas and go for the
Not much
Radiance, or do you
good's
think that,
happening to
they're going for the Radiance
Radiant's
because they
bottom
know that they need to fight earlier?
He probably was a little bit too contested to feel like Midas would play. This is probably Midas. If he had a free farm lane and gets it a couple minutes faster, yeah, he probably goes Midas, but this match it's been tough. Look where he's running. He's running behind the tier 2. They do not know where the gank is coming, or at least he's just trying to be safe. But he's got the Relic finished, but he's not able to maximize his farm because Liquid pressuring so well.
Oh, they want 33. They are hunting. Careful, my friend. Ooh. Did they see him? They spot him now, that's for sure. Avalanche toss, even an Ice Blast. They don't even need the Ice Blast. Smell just blows up the Darkseer.
Just a little bit of a mistake there. Misestimating what the safe distance was. Aiming for Mjolnir, he's getting pretty darn close to that. This Sumail just gets levels, then he moves around the map with one or two other heroes, and he's just looking for kills constantly. Gonna restrict Tundra's ability to get some Taiga bottom though.
Yeah, they're gonna see if they can make it happen. They've got the clockwork, of course, the silence, waiting, rift, everything, and they'll find themselves a quick pickoff, but still, Koifa looming large right now.
They definitely needed that though. Get something on the map, even if they're cooled down.
Snaking, but
bad for him.
I mean, Sumail's spot snaking.
Like gears in the rain.
Are those cracks in Dire's top tower?
But he did get a killing spree before that, so that'll be fine. That buys time for Skeeter here, who is trying to finish the rat. His net worth is still okay.
He's trying to hang in there. It's been hard because their jungle has just been invaded constantly by Liquid. They've, took away that giant stack that they had over on the side. And, look at the vision that they've got up to. You can see they've got some nice deep wards planted to keep tabs on everything. And, really just figure out, where are people? What are the item timings? This is, oh God, 33.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Spirit up against the tree. Get off the... Okay, they get the save coming out here from Fata as they go and they drop that wall. They'll use the arena to walk away here.
Sometimes you're like, this is the most kill I've ever seen.
Nine.
You just mess it up.
Nine is in no man's land, and Sumail collects himself another kill. He's the only one who can do this, though, I feel, right? Because he's the hardest one to get your hands on.
But on the bright side, 3-3 doesn't die, at least. He's got a solo quest finish now. So now if they do group up and fight, at least there'll be a nice buffer, right? Good movement speed, armor, attack speed, all that good stuff.
Yeah, but they're already in the pit here, Purge. This is looking like this will be our first Roche here. Or Liquid, and I'm not sure how they go and they can test this. I don't think they can. Can they?
It's hard. They have so much minus armor. Corrosion and Medallion and Blightstone.
Yeah, look, he's just melting.
Stack,
On the bright side, I'm sure they're going to be happy. They do get the Philosopher's Stone. I can hear Fogged in the back just like, oh, they got the Philo-Stone. It's fine. But, Nine poking away over here. They can't do anything about this, though. This Roche goes down. It's going to be Coif grabbing up that Aegis. So that is our first Roche of the game. And, man, Liquid, they have all the momentum right now. Bottom lane, Snake King. Tossed up here. Hook shot. Ice Blast coming in hot, though. So it doesn't even matter. Sumail just tosses the tree out and says, get out of my lane.
Throws the tree and walks away like a cool guy.
Yeah, you can see the sunglasses going down over his eyes, too, as he strolls out. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
Let us fight.
They gotta push these side lanes, because otherwise you're not getting any farm. Sometimes you're gonna get ganked like this. It's still fine for Snake King to... And now that they know Sumail was bottom,
yeah,
they are going to see if they get Tiger.
Yeah, Dream Coil's gonna get used immediately over to Tiger. They're gonna try to burst him down so that way he doesn't have any save left. So he will fall. The hunt is on.
Under attack.
But they're not able to grab their hands on anybody beyond that.
They wanted to run in, but they're like, this is a bad idea.
But they have the vision. They have those wards over to the side, so Mickey, he knows exactly. Except for the fact that Knight is hiding in the trees, but I mean, what can this puck really hope to do too much other than just blink Mickey? Cancel out that blink dagger. Orbing forward here, gonna try to root down the bear. Jump forward though, coming out from Mickey as he's just gonna immediately try to go and blow up Fata. There'll be no saving this time from around 33-2 caught over here on the side, and it's a Dream Coil coming out, but it doesn't do a whole heck of anything as Tundra is just forced to run away. Oh, Mickey with the spear back over onto Skeeter. The buybacks come out immediately now from Tundra. He's going to come right back up again, but the burst damage is real. Nine trying to click away over here on Mickey. Over on the back lines, they do end up losing Insania. Mickey falls. They get the nice vacuum off. Can they finish him off, though? But Sumail does so much damage. They get the save off over onto Skeeter. They're going to hunt down, and they will be able to go collect the kill over onto Sumail. Boyfa now running. The creeps kind of blocking him into place. The shards coming in. Oh, long-range stun, though, over here on the bear. They want to at least clean up on this. Nice spear, though, coming out from Koifa's bear.
Orb now. Human 7. I thought they were going to get the bear for sure, but that roar was excellent. It basically was the same time the orb came out, so he couldn't orb jump. And his Dream Coil was coming off cooldown, but ultimately that cost Tundra a lot. They had to buy back almost all of their heroes there because Liquid had done such a good job initiating. I mean, Mickey jumps in, gets the ulti off, kills the Oracle. That means that the next guy they go on is vulnerable. That was Darkseer. Here comes his blink in. He gets the ultimate off on Fata. They tried to interrupt his blink dagger with the rocket flare, but he had popped his hood barrier, which blocks the damage, still allows him to blink. That's why he was able to get on top of him. Then Tiny jumps in, focusing on Darkseer. They kill him before he gets his vacuum wall off, and then he tosses back Skeeter, forcing them, spears them back, forcing them to commit to this fight. They would have just disengaged and lost their tower, but they had to jump in. If they lost Skeeter here with his ulti, I felt like the game would have been over there. So still decent for Tundra, but amazing engagement by Liquid. Those buybacks might really cost them later on.
I don't know, Purge. I have this feeling that we're probably going for a long series here. I know the way that Tundra likes to play. If they can get enough time we're probably going to see a very scary Skeeter going toe-to-toe with Liquid.
Dire's top tower is gone.
I'm really unsure right now. I think they're in a good spot on Liquid. Gonna spare though.
They want the spare. They've had enough of it. Another Savage Roar, though. Snake King. He's gonna hook shot away over to Fata. He's in a good position as Taiga facing down here with Skeeter. He's gonna have the reincarnation up in just 1 second, though, so they can't just. Oh, look at the Dream Coil over onto the back lines. They'll follow up with an arena here from Mickey as they go and they spear over to the side. But again, Fata coming in with the saves. Koi, but he's going to go down for the first time. Already taken out Insania. And now it feels like Liquid, they're on the back foot. Taiga running away. Koi trying to shift back over into this bear form. Tundra not quite sure how they want to approach this, though, as Mickey throwing out the spear doesn't quite connect. Swing forward here from 9. Going to start plinking away over here to Mickey. They'll go, they'll use the cogs up. Smell looking for the opening, gets a nice avalanche toss off, and he bursts down Snake King. Now, Skeeter, he's in for some trouble here. They do manage to go and get the Oracle ultimate off over onto Skeeter, buying him a bit more time. 33, though, just running around in circles. Gets a nice vacuum off, but there's nothing else to follow up. Does manage, though, to get Skeeter out. Oh, the toss, though, Fata. That's a big old bear being tossed over here onto this Oracle. So now gets yet another kill, and the Ice Blast does get tossed out, but no one is there to receive the end of it.
Dire's middle tower
And those
is
are the diebacks.
gone.
That's 50 seconds of a death timer for an Oracle at 23 minutes of the game, so they're going high ground here. They did a great job on the Tundra side, keeping their allies alive, but once they focus on Mickey, he's got Pipe. It's just way too tanky there. With the Sumail able to counter-initiate. Yeah, this is like potentially a 2x. They're gonna get mid for sure. Maybe they'll go top 2.
I don't see how Tundra can force them back until, you know, everybody's up and running again. And even then, it's a bit difficult.
They don't have reincarnation for 30 seconds, and Skeeter's almost got his BKB, but yeah, this just feels like their buybacks cost them a little bit too much there. Gave them some net worth advantage, but losing a fight right outside their base, they miss that. They might save their melee here. It's gonna be close.
Oracle's going to be up, so is 33 very shortly. 9 looking for this opening.
Dire's top
I'm going to try to spook him back a little bit. Poke away.
And they're gonna get out. Really big advantage now for Liquid. They needed to win that fight pretty decisively, and the first half of the fight went really good. If they didn't have Aegis on Lone Druid, they would have looked really great in that engagement. He would have died the first time. They could have maybe have 1 or 2 of their heroes, but Mail's just always ready. Mickey's just done a great job. He's been playing exactly how Koikfa did in game 1. He gets the fast hood, the fast pipe. He knows that all of his cores are difficult to kill, so he just has to get ultra tanky, and he took the focus after that first initial engagement.
We do see some different solutions, though, coming out, but we talked about, you know, Sumail. He's actually picked up that BKB now, so it's going to be very hard to pin him down. On the flip side of things, though, do have an Aeon Disc picked up now for Puck. Very important that he can stay alive. And this Oracle getting closer and closer to a Blink Dagger, which I feel like is so necessary for Fata, because they really need to take him out of the equation, and they're doing a good job of it seems, most times here on the side of Liquid.
Yeah, they have done that a couple times. Fata's also been ulting at the perfect moments too, where things look really bad for Skeeter. He drops the ulti, gives him time to escape or to stay alive through it. So, yeah, Blink will be excellent. He's almost there. Just needs to dig up a couple more bounty runes, I guess. Then everything will be fine. They've almost got Blink Dagger on Darkseer as well. His net worth is really low. Here's that engagement. Snake King forced to hook shot away to keep himself safe. Taiga looked like he was in a good position. This looked great initially, but Puck's counter initiation was just so good. Wraith King ulti goes off. They're able to pick off the Lone Druid. The vacuum's excellent. They pick up Koikfa. Almost got Taiga. And they do eventually clean him up. They don't want to go high ground, of course, but the vision from the illusions, and eventually Mickey kind of walked into them, like, ready to fight. They're like, well, I guess we got to kill this guy. He's got a pipe. He's got a 16 stick, blocking 60% of physical damage from the front, and that just gave Sumail like the easy Avatos to clean up those utility supports. Skeeter was gonna die, but gets saved with the ulti, and he kind of wants to go back in, but he's got Mjolnir charge on him. Like, how are you gonna kill 2,000 HP Mars at that point in the game? It's just really hard unless Wraith King feels confident to slap him.
I mean, you're not gonna be able to go in and give him the slaps there by any means. You can see they're pretty happy at the way that they turned that fight around. And yeah, so we're just waiting for a moment here. Do have a smoke over on the side of Liquid. Sure, they're feeling pretty good right now with the current item pickups that they just got. They have that BKB over on Sumail. I have a feeling they're going to be kind of sweeping around here. And you can see that Koifa has what's the word? I don't want to say exponentially because I know JJ absolutely hates when you use that in the wrong phrase. See, I listen to you, JJ. I do. But, you know, you are seeing that growth coming out. Just an empty box. All right. They're hunting, though, for sure.
Aghanim shard on one Druid too, with the bonus attack speed for him and his allies, and with Sumail going back for a right-click build with his BKB, he's queuing up shard. This extra attack speed is going to mean Sumail does insane damage to afterwards. So the death ball of Liquid here, tag team amplifying damage and attack speed increase from lone Druid, everything just makes sense.
And of course, Sumail finding himself a double damage too doesn't hurt either.
Pretty good, yeah.
Dyer's bottom tower always
one.
did get short shrift.
All right, the blink is completed now for Fata, so his positioning in these fights should feel a little bit better. But of course, Liquid is just going to be running at them. They know that they're very strong right now, and you know, the later this goes, the more chance it gives for Skeeter to become a real threat. That's so completed now for Mickey. Pressure is on. Look how fast these towers go.
Dyer's
Both a
bottom tower
tiny
has shattered to
and,
little pieces.
and a lone Druid. Pretty scary. All right, they're going to run back now. Here they go. Let's see if they can defend this. Bear sieging. He's got the solar crest.
Radiant's top tower.
Look at the damage coming out from Sumail with that double damage. Oof. Cleans up the Skelly boys.
Be insane.
Radiant's
Slap
top
the bear
tower
again.
is under
He's got so
attack.
much armor here with the AC finish.
They just keep trying to disarm it too. Please, don't touch our towers. This damage, though, Skeeter already down to half health. Go, and they'll use the Dream Coil over on the back line with a beautiful wall vacuum combo, but they need more damage out of here. 33 is just an island all by himself. The snowball coming in here from Taiga. There's a punch. 9 does find the kill over onto Insanius. Sumail, look at this arena here. Snaking is trapped. Skeeter is going to go down first time. Snaking trying. He's just holding them in place a little bit longer. Eventually will get taken out by Mickey. And I just don't know how they get in here. 9 and Aeon just does pop. Mickey chasing after them. The Savage Roar will force Skeeter back. And the focus is on there. Just paying attention to these racks. They're trying to get rid of this bear. Has been an absolute thorn in the side. Mickey, though, going forward again with the God's Rebuke. Can they burst down anyone else? The toss up into the air. This is not looking good for Skeeter, but Fata, he hits his buttons perfectly. He's going to be able to keep him alive just a bit longer. So he is rooted into place, but he just, I don't know if they have enough save. They don't have the save for him. The buyback now coming out from Skeeter. Fata is just going to be sacrificed to the Liquid Gods over here. And now 9, he's trying to just be as obnoxious as possible. If they have a ward, they have the vision. Look at Mickey waiting patiently, not going to be able to quite land it. As over on the back lines here, Skeeter is just forced to run back into his fountain.
So hard for them to engage past the bear. The bear is just keeping Skeeter out of the fight, and the vacuum wall was great. The Dream Coil is great, but this could be a good start, though. 10 seconds till true form, but no follow-up on Koifa.
Snaking on the back lines, just gets the jump over onto Koifa, but this bear's just shredding him into pieces. Sumail, BKBing, he's going to teleport away. Koifa, though, is left behind. 9 here, going to keep trying to poke. Do you have that Dream Coil? But Sumail, he sticks around. He decides he's not quite done just yet as Koifa's getting chased down here by Skeeter, but the GG does get called. They realize this bear, this rock, everything coming out from Liquid is just too strong.
Liquid played amazing this game. They crushed that safe lane. The Lone Druid plus Tuss lane. They killed Clock and Darkseer so many times. They took those heroes out of the game as a factor, and that was like 2 of their major damage sources in that match. Made Puck